Welcome to the Great Western Forum, where the LA Kings and Toronto Maple Leafs are set to skate in Game 3 of the Campbell Conference Final. In Game 1, the Maple Leafs came out emotionally charged, their crowd roaring at a fever pitch. Stanley Cup fever. Their fearless leader, Doug Gilmour, led Toronto to victory in Game 1, but the Los Angeles Kings did leave a parting message. In Game 2, Gilmour started right where he left off, but then aggravation, devastation, and frustration. The Kings got their much-needed split in Toronto. Tonight it's back to LA for Game 3. Welcome inside the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. Game 3 of the Campbell Conference Finals. Toronto and Los Angeles on ESPN's National Hockey Night. And a pleasant good evening to you, everyone. I'm Tom Mees, along with John Davidson, live just moments before the start of Game 3 here at the Forum in Inglewood. And John, for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Doug Gilmour, big in Game 1, had a goal in Game 2. They got to get him back on track, though.
Absolutely, Tom. He got a little out of focus. You know, when you think of the Toronto Maple Leafs throughout these playoffs, you think about Doug Gilmour and all his greatness. When he plays well, stays focused, gets his 30 minutes of ice time, generally, Toronto wins. He lost focus in Game 2, spent time in the penalty box, lost control of his own emotions. He had a talk with the head coach, Pat Burns. Burns said, listen, we'll look after you on the ice. You look after us because you're great for us.
And Pat Burns made some changes. Chief among them, Ken Baumgartner, the tough guy, will be on the same line with you.
I think he may neutralize or nullify some of the rough stuff. I know that Los Angeles is keying on Gilmour, trying to hit him, wear him down. But remember, too, with Toronto putting 3 fresh bodies into the lineup, the 3-hour time change, a trip here yesterday, gives them a chance to be more fresh in this game.
The best line for the Kings so far in this playoff series, not the Wayne Gretzky line, the Tony Granato line. Remember, Tony Granato had a big power play goal in period 2 of Game 2 in Toronto to tie the score at 2 and set up a later winner by Thomas Sandstrom. And there's no doubt about it that Granato and his line mates have been the story for LA.
Well, when you think about Los Angeles, you think about Wayne Gretzky, but it hasn't been Gretzky's line through the first 2 games. It's been these guys, centered by Corey Millen. What do they have in common besides playing well? All ex-New York Rangers.
With the emphasis, I might add, on X, I'm afraid, John. The LA Kings, Toronto Maple Leafs. What a 3rd game it should be. We'll have it for you next on National Hockey Night.
And Chicago beat Los Angeles.
Yes! If you like sports, if you can't get enough of sports, if you want up-to-the-minute scores, point spreads, all the news on your favorite sports, then you need to call the 24-hour sports and entertainment line. Call this number now and get the latest news on football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever the season, whatever the news, it's all here on the sports and entertainment line. No need to wait for the news on TV. You can call the sports and entertainment line anytime and become the most informed sports fan in town.
$2.99 per minute.
The line is updated every 15 minutes. So what are you waiting for? Call the sports and entertainment line now.
And if you're not a sports fan like me, you can use the sports and entertainment line too. Call for your daily horoscopes, soap opera updates, financial news, and lots more.
There's also a great sports trivia game. It's really challenging and a lot of fun.
It's fun at your fingertips.
The sports and entertainment line. Call now.
$2.99 per minute.
Tomorrow, the NHL is playing for keeps.
The Canadiens face the Islanders in Game 4 tomorrow night, live on ESPN.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs. The magic of the '93 Stanley Cup Playoffs is yours forever with this power-packed video. You'll cheer the overtime victories, last-second dramas, and hockey's star-studded performances. You'll find all the spectacular players and plays in the official '93 Stanley Cup video. To order for $19.95 plus $4 shipping, use your credit card and call 1-800-688-1993. That's 1-800-688-1993.
Welcome back to National Hockey Night. John Saunders along with Jim Schoenfeld. The Campbell Conference game number 3 is straight ahead. It's tied 1-1 between the Leafs and the Kings. Now, the Kings have to feel good coming home, having gained the split in Toronto. What's your feel on how the series is going now?
Well, game one, we did not see the King team we expected to see. The Kings are billed as the speedier of the two teams, forwards with blazing speed. In game two, they showed that speed on counters and on outside speed, blowing by the Toronto defensemen. That's something we can look for in the game tonight, especially lines like Millen and Granato. And you'll see it right here. Tony Granato, Donnelly coming late, and watch Millen finish hard on Dave Ellett. They can pay a little price. Again on a counter. Here we come, 2-on-1. Blake's going to take the shot. He's going to come in. A little extra bump on Lefebvre for good measures. Again, the Kings coming. Look at the speed through the neutral zone. This is Zhitnik, a defenseman. Jamie McCowan caught flat-footed. He blows right by them. Potvin has to come up with another save. Neutral zone, the great one. Thomas Sandstrom. And Sandstrom makes no mistake blasting that one over the shoulder of Felix Potvin. Now, for the Leafs tonight, John, the neutral zone is the key area. Once the Kings get a good head of steam, they are very, very difficult to stop. So you have to prevent them from getting that speed, and you do that by clogging up the neutral zone.
Interesting thing you said to me earlier off air. As a defenseman in the NHL, you always felt it was tougher playing in the Forum in Los Angeles. Why?
Yeah, I just felt there was more room in the defensive zone. Forwards have a lot of room in the corners. Maple Leaf Gardens, the corners come upon you in a hurry, so it's easier to shut people down. Whether the dimensions are different or not, I don't know. But as a player, I always felt it was more difficult to track forwards down at the Great Western Forum.
All right, we'll find out if the Los Angeles Kings can take advantage of the extra space there when we come back. Series tied 1-1. Thomas Sandstrom is the reason why. The game winner against Felix Potvin. They're back home trying to get a leg up on the Leafs.
A noble warrior advised, the art of protection springs from within. One must stay vigilant against one's unfragrant perspiration, lest one provoke a hostile response. Thus, a Norse ritual is regard sports stick, an aromatic array of the freshest scents and maximum protection against disarming wetness. Confirming the wisdom, the best defense is not to offend. Right guard sports stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
At Thrifty Car Rental, we understand how therapeutic vacations can be. Getting away from the little power plays. Reassessing your personal goals. So to help make your vacation a relaxing one, when you're shopping for a rental car, call Thrifty and rent a full-size four-door like the new Chrysler Concorde for just $36.95 a day.
When I need a car, I always rent from Thrifty. So remember, when it's your money, call 1-800-4CARS.
Performax from Pennzoil. New synthetic motor oil with Pennzoil's exclusive star molecule. Protects engine parts at ignition. Works like liquid ball bearings. Hangs tough during the most extreme driving conditions. Flows in severe cold. Performax from Pennzoil. Keeps it cool in extreme heat. Performax from Pennzoil. Fights against failure at friction max out. Performax. Protects to the max.
St. Croix sounds great. See your travel agent or call us.
The Cup Playoffs is brought to you by Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be. And by the New Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
The Los Angeles Kings are looking to move into the Stanley Cup final round. They have to get past the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've never gone this far before, so you think their fans have been with them from the beginning, sticks with them through thick and thin. Well, not everyone has been there through everything.
I gave up on the Kings, and I didn't up my season tickets for the playoffs, and now they came back. They're playing. I'm waiting in line. I'll pay double the money, but I'm still loyal now.
Again?
Still loyal now? I don't know. Isn't loyalty something that remains through? You couldn't see the bottom of him. Very strong legs, this guy, from jumping on and off the bandwagon.
That's right. He may have tipped it over a few times as well. All right, we'll see you between the first and second period. Right now, it's to Tom and J.D.
All right, John Saunders, welcome to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California, with John Davidson, Tom Mees. Play underway here in the first period. Just a few seconds in as we pick it up. And this crowd on its feet through both national anthems, and they are ready tonight to welcome the Toronto Maple Leafs to town, John. But it's the kind of atmosphere that can pump both teams up.
Oh, I think so too, Tom. We get into this game early here. You'll see Gilmore starts for Toronto right away. Barry Melrose started Pat Conacher, a grinding centerman that could be a key matchup. Toronto, I think, will try and double shift their best player, Gilmore. And we'll see how Los Angeles, Tom, on home ice like to play run and gun. Let's see what happens.
Well, they told us today, confidentially, but it can be let out of the bag now because they're playing, that they were going to try right from the start to run and gun. A lot of open ice, end-to-end action. The Kings are going to try to force their will on the Toronto Maple Leafs, which they didn't do in Toronto. Zhitnik with a shot, and Potvin has to make the save. And let's begin with the 21-year-old rookie, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Felix Potvin, who's been nothing short of brilliant in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The goals against of under 2.7 and a save percentage over 90%. At the other end of the ice, some 200 feet or so away in the Los Angeles King net, Kelly Rudy, who, John, has been really consistent since coming to the fore late in the series against Vancouver.
The numbers are climbing. The record is what's the important thing. He was one of the key players in the win in Game 2 of this series to tie it up in one apiece. Toronto said they must put some of their bigger players in front of Kelly Rudy's goal to try and screen him, bump him, and look for rebounds. That has not happened yet in this series.
Wayne Gretzky's line is on the ice. Gretzky, Robitaille, and Sandstrom. And Gretzky will take the face-off here with Peter Zenzel. Ken Baumgartner also inserted into the Toronto lineup tonight, along with Dave McElwain. And one other change of note.
Wayne Gretzky this morning was the only King not to skate. A problem with an ingrown toenail. He went and saw the team's doctors and had the toe frozen, and they went to work to dig the toenail out to alleviate the pressure on the foot. He said it was sore, but it felt a lot better prior to game time than what it did this morning, so he was happy he was able to get it taken care of.
Three new Leafs in the lineup, John. Ken Baumgartner, Rob Pearson, and Dave McElwain are in. Mike Foligno is out. Also out is Mike Eastwood. And we'll get the other scratch for you in a second.
Robitaille goes to the bench. Look at these two pit bulls. Conacher and Zenzel for the draw. Zenzel wins again. Tom, through the playoffs, Zenzel is now 39 and 15. He's 2-0 in this game. 39 and 15 on the draws. A very one-sided situation.
It's Gretzky at center ice. Has the puck poke checked away. Out Alexei Zhitnik, though. Backhands it in, and back for it for the Maple Leafs goes Jamie McCown behind his own net. 1-1 in the series. And the next two games tonight and Sunday will be here at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. Alexei Zhitnik touches up, icing on the Toronto Maple Leafs. You send the puck into the other zone from the other side of the red line, and the opposition gets their first. You're whistled for icing. The coaches, Pat Burns, and you got to love a guy who wears a Daffy Duck tie.
9 times during the regular season, his team came up with a real clunker of a game. 8 times his team came back after to play a good, strong game. He has the ability to pump his team up and get them to play well. Barry Melrose does not change anything with his team except for some line combinations that we've seen here early already. Same team as far as players. The 36-year-old has achieved what he's had to do so far, winning 1 of 2 on the road.
The other scratch I was thinking of for Toronto, Kent Manderville. So Manderville, Eastwood, and Foligno, who played in Game 2, are out. Baumgartner, Pearson, and McElwain are in. And there you have the changes in your program. The puck behind the Toronto Maple Leaf net, looking to center. This is the Corey Millen line. It's been so successful, and a whistle by Andy Van Hellemond.
The puck is in, but it went underneath the back of the net as Van Hellemond blew the whistle. And the faceoff will stay inside the zone. A lot of Kings fans and Kings players point to Tony Granato being the #1 player for Los Angeles through the first 2 games. You'll see a big hit right here. Boom. And then the net will flip up, and the puck will be kicked underneath.
I tell you, Tony Granato is going to catch some serious heat in the locker room with his teammate.
McSorley on the ice, his first shift, and the fans loving it, responding with the chant of Marty, Marty.
But he's out there against Zenzel's line, so no appearance of Ken Baumgartner yet.
Zenzel was just on for the faceoff. He now goes to the bench, and McElwain's on the ice. He's put into the lineup, only his 4th playoff game, but he has a lot of speed. And the idea is to have his speed up against Corey Millen, who has a lot of speed for Los Angeles. The 2 quickest centers on the ice now.
For Los Angeles, it's Granato. Carries into the Toronto zone. Bumped back out, though, by Dave McElwain. The Kings have to send it back in. Bob Rouse behind his own net. Takes a hard hit from Mike Donnelly. Still gets it out on the left wing and clears it to center ice. Tim Waters has to come to a quick stop shot. Save, rebound, and over the body of Rudy by Mark Osborne, who had a great scoring chance. Wow, an excellent save initially by Rudy, but then he was out of the play.
The initial good scoring chance in this game goes to Toronto. Kelly Rudy was fabulous. Great reflex save on a real quick shot.
Darryl Sydor, one of the rookie defensemen for the Los Angeles Kings.
Baumgartner with his first shift now.
He's on there with Krushelnyski and Nikolai Borshevsky. Charlie Huddy with it at center ice for Los Angeles. Huddy sends it ahead. Robitaille will chase. Will he get there first? No, Felix Potvin does. Puck loose. The shot by Sydor. The save by Potvin, and he's out of the play, but the Leafs clear the zone.
Potvin was down. The shot by Sydor was not high enough, as Potvin had a problem. Potvin is now fixing his right skate plate. I believe his skate gave out. He lost balance and got lucky that the puck didn't beat him.
I'll get it, Olga. It's the Americans. They brought Miller Lite.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Miller Lite.
Americans are here, and they brought Miller Lite.
If you're on a mission for great taste that's less filling, Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Olga, we don't have salsa. Someone say salsa.
The crowd seems ready. It's a beautiful spring evening, perfect for a doubleheader.
Domino's pepperoni cheddar doubleheader.
Buy a large pepperoni pizza at regular price and get an extra layer with cheddar cheese and extra pepperoni free. A pepperoni cheddar doubleheader. He steps up to the box. It's a long one. It's going, gone. And with every medium or large pizza order,
get your free Kool-Aid soft drink mix.
A 2-quart pack, 30 Kool-Aid points.
Something for nothing.
How about that?
Domino's.
You're looking at the right skate blade of 21-year-old Felix Potvin, the goaltender. He looks a little nervous early in the first period here. Now it's Kelly Rudy's save that he made on the one-time shot. Now we'll look at Potvin missing the puck here, and then watch his right skate give out. Boom, there, down he goes. And during the stoppage, he had some repair work done to that skate blade.
Play is back on. Fans reacting to a hard hit by Darryl Sydor on Nikolai Borshevsky.
Borshevsky's gone to the bench. Big hit. Knocked the helmet off of Borshevsky.
Borshevsky not very big, and his body absorbed a hard one from Darryl Sydor. Puck loose down the Toronto zone. Robitaille fighting for it along with Yari Curry, but Todd Gill comes away for the Maple Leafs. This is Jamie McCown motoring at center. McCown into the zone. Drops it for a shot by Andrechuk on the left wing, well wide. Andrechuk has been rather quiet in this series today. Gretzky tries to hit Robitaille, breaking in, can't do it. Robitaille's also been quiet. He only has one shot in the entire series. McCown puts it into the LA zone. No score. 4 minutes or so gone by here in the first period. This is Conacher motoring into the zone. Centering pass, nobody there as Gill held up a cutting Dave Taylor. Andrechuk tries to loft it into the King zone. Does so, but it's intercepted there by Rob Blake. Blake with a dangerous pass off the side of the net. And the Kings almost gave it away in their own zone. Instead, they got a 3-on-2. Conacher on left wing. Got some room. Now it's closed off. His centering pass hits a Toronto defender, and back the other way we go. This is Sylvain Lefebvre. Lefebvre backhands it into the Los Angeles zone. Zhitnik back there for L.A. Over the stick of the breaking Jimmy Carson. That's the kind of play that clicks so many times against Calgary and Vancouver.
They'll now be icing against Toronto. The glass in this building, Tom, is very unpredictable. And Felix Potvin, the Toronto goaltender, was told by Rick Wamsley, the goaltending coach, that if the puck is shot in high off the glass, don't leave your goal net. Let the puck go around. Very unpredictable. This is a multi-purpose arena. The boards and glass are put in and out a lot because of other events, including basketball, even though there isn't anymore. And again, the goaltender's been told, stay in the goal net. Don't worry about the puck going around the glass. Along the boards, maybe try and help your defenseman out. Look, I think Toronto looks pretty good so far. They've had a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-2, even though they haven't scored.
And that man, Kelly Rudy, hopes he doesn't face too many more of those tonight. But this atmosphere is great for both teams, I think. The emotion in the crowd was obvious. They unveiled the Spike Division Playoff Champions banner here at the Great Western Forum just prior to the LA Kings taking the ice, and that really set off a celebration. Barry Melrose, I don't know, he must have ambivalent feelings about that. He doesn't want to jack up Toronto too much for that.
Zezel against Conacher. Gretzky on the ice again. Conacher taking defensive draws once again on both sides of the defensive zone. By Zezel, he's one of the best in the league.
And the face-off won by Zezel. Back to Rouse at the point. Short-circuited before it gets to Rudy. Zezel centering pass. Pearson couldn't get a stick on it. Here comes LA in a 3-on-2. Conacher to Gretzky to Conacher. He's got Sandstrom trailing. Can't get him the puck. Bob Rouse played it well. Got a stick in the way of the drop pass. And here comes Pearson. 1-on-2 to Zezel. Zezel with a shot. Rudy the save. Rudy is run into, but it's incidental contact. No call there. Wendell Clark. He takes a quick shot. It's blocked in front by the Kings defense and a whistle. And our first display of emotion. One of the Kings falling back in front of Rudy blocked that shot. And as he was laying there on the ice, sticks and tempers flared. That's Tim Waters with the puck somewhere between his legs, John.
3-on-2 one way for Los Angeles doesn't work. The puck is countered back the other way. And Toronto gets a 2-on-1 and a good scoring chance. We have penalty minutes coming up. Well, here at the Toronto club heading up ice. Now, when Clark puts the puck out, Pearson goes to the puck. Look at Zezel cut to the left side so he can get the pass back. Good pass back and a quick hard shot. A real good save. If Zezel goes down the middle of the ice, he doesn't get the pass. He cut into the left side to help out Pearson.
Well, Rob Pearson sits 2 minutes for roughing. Time is 5 minutes and 31 seconds, and Pat Burns and the Maple Leafs are arguing the call with Andy Van Hellemond.
It's one of the few times in the playoffs Toronto has taken the open penalty in the game. This is that low shot that Kelly Rudy had to deal with. You see him make the save and put the rebound into the corner. There's Pearson with a little incidental contact on the goaltender.
And that's why we have the scrum a few minutes later as Waters lay on the ice with the puck between his pads. The Kings are defending their goaltender. And Pearson got called for the penalty. And he and the Leafs are not happy about it. Zezel centering pass. Oh, just over the stick of Bill Berg, who was right there.
Los Angeles has to get this #1 power play unit going if they expect to do well.
Kings have not been doing very well on the power play over the playoffs, from the start of the playoffs, but they did get one in the second period in game 2. Rob Blake. The shot is well wide, taken over there by Sandstrom. Zezel intercepts. Blake keeps it in the zone. Blake winds up, and it hits a defenseman in front. Robitaille behind the net. Gretzky calling for it. In front, they shoot. Puckman's on top of it. Zezel will clear the loose puck.
3 times the Kings attempted shots. Each time the shots were deflected high and wide. Finally, they got a good shot, and Potvin was right there on Sandstrom.
1 minute, 13 seconds left in the penalty to Rob Pearson. And Gilmore shoots it back into the LA zone only momentarily. Sandstrom now will skate it in. Thomas Sandstrom. His drop pass intercepted by who else? Doug Gilmore, who tries to clear the zone. Instead, sends it over the glass into the crowd. Face-off in the Toronto end with 59 seconds left on the King power play.
The Kings power play operating at 19% on the road. At home, make that at home. 19% at home. On the road, just over 10%. Quite a difference. And the #1 unit who was on the ice a moment ago, people like Robitaille and Gretzky and Sandstrom, they just simply haven't been scoring. But they did move the puck around well. Had one good scoring chance, that by Sandstrom, and then they come back now with the #2 unit. And that's the best line that Los Angeles has had here in this series, centered by Corey Millen.
Yeah, Millen is on there with Donnelly and Tony Granato. You've got McSorley and Darryl Sador in the back line. That's the power play unit now.
Looks like Andy Van Hellemond skated over for late delay. Now he's seen skating back into the picture. He talked to the Toronto bench regarding, I think, the line changes, late changes. The visitor has to put their players on the ice first. They are told by the referee to stop when he puts his hand up. Then the home team can put their players on. That's the advantage of playing on home ice.
Face-off control by the Kings. Back to Marty McSorley at the left point. He lets her fly. Puckman, rebound in front. Millen was going for it with a backhand, but couldn't get a hold of it, and the puck comes loose to center. Where McSorley dumps it back in. Potvin lost his balance at the side of his net. Daryl Sador keeps it in the zone. Granado rouses on him, doing a nice job. Puck comes loose, Sador, the windup, and in front it hits the goaltender, Potvin. Granado, oh, how did Potvin ever make that stop? He got a stick on it. Some fans were already starting to jump up and raise their hand. 28 seconds left in the power play. Daryl Sador inside the blue line to Granado. Quick wrist shot blocked by Bob Rouse. Granado gets it back, and Granado's taken down. Fans want a penalty, but no penalty called.
Potvin with a big save. The Kings talked a lot about trying to shoot high. They haven't, and Potvin has stopped everything low.
9 seconds left in the LA man advantage. Don't know if they're going to get another shot on goal. As McCown touches up, it'll be icing with only 3 seconds left on the penalty to Rob Pearson of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Still no score. 12:32 left here in our first period. So the faceoff comes all the way down into the LA Kings zone, and John, the Maple Leafs, and Felix Potvin in particular, surviving a storm.
Exactly right. Here's a shot that goes high, but it hit Mike Donnelly in front. The puck stayed in front, and you'll see right here the shot by Tony Granado, and Potvin makes a good save down low. As again, the Kings, who talk so much about shooting high, Barry Melrose coached against Felix Potvin in the minor leagues last year, the American Hockey League, and they said he's a great young goaltender, but he can be beaten high, more so than low. And you know that the Kings have talked about it. Beat him high, beat him high, beat him high. Sandstrom beat Potvin with a high shot for the winner in Game 2. But here, so far, through the first 7.5 minutes, he stopped everything, and they've all been low shots. Shots are 5-4 in favor of Los Angeles.
Maple Leafs control the faceoff. The penalty is now over. We're 5 aside. Kings intercept the shot by Todd Gill, and back up the other way we come. Yari Curry pulls up, leaves it for Charlie Huddy, who fanned on it. Huddy has to quickly go back to prevent a Toronto break. Puck comes behind the net. Felix Potvin leaves it for Gill. Pearson on the boards. Can't get it out. Waters lofting it in, and Jimmy Carson and Jamie McCown go after it, swatting their sticks at it. A lot of bouncing pucks early in this game.
You wonder about the ice when you see that. A lot of players complain about the ice in Toronto, but the puck's not sitting down here either. See the glass?
Bad bounce off the glass. You're right. Jimmy Carson couldn't get a good shot away, though.
Toronto was very fortunate. The glass here, it's awful. It reminds me of the glass in Buffalo in the auditorium.
Send your cards and letters, you Sabre ticket holders, to John Davidson.
Say it the way it is. They need new glass. They need new building.
Lefebvre, it deflected once or twice in on Rudy, and he's lucky it went wide. With it now is Los Angeles at center. Luke Robitaille. Rudy sent it up to Robitaille. Yari Curry will come to the bench. Robitaille gets double-teamed along the boards. Zhitnik dumps it in. Jimmy Carson in the corner. 11:18 to go here in the first period. No score from the Great Western Forum. Thomas Sandstrom, center pass in front and score!
They're loving it, Los Angeles. You see the battle along the boards won by the Kings, and in Sandstrom with the fabulous pass into Rob Blake, and the defenseman scores. That's the first goal in this series by a defenseman. See the Kings outnumber the Leafs 3-2. They win the puck, and there's Blake. Wendell Clark never picked him up. It's 1-0 Los Angeles. Tom, these two teams scored the same amount of goals from defensemen during the regular season, the same amount by defensemen through the playoffs until that one.
Kings keep it in the zone. Blake another shot. Taken in front by Taylor. The pass over to Gretzky. Gretzky's shot is blocked by Rouse. Blake from Sandstrom and Carson at 8:49. That's the official. So the Los Angeles Kings break out on top, something that they did not do in either Game 1 or 2 in Toronto. Wow, Gilmore missed a big check on Zhitnik. Anderson buries Zhitnik in the boards. Play is starting to get rough. Intercepted by Gilmore. Right in front, and Rudy sprawls out to knock it off the stick of Anderson.
Here's the penalty. Great aggressive play by Doug Gilmore. Moving into the zone. And good rush. Good work by Gilmore and Anderson. They draw a power play.
In America, your car is not just something you own. It's a part of your life.
To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Call 1-800-528-1234 or your travel agent. Your best bet is a Best Western.
It's 1-0 Los Angeles. Listen to this. Oh, man. The Kings working Zhitnik. Gilmore and Anderson with a great shift. Gilmore with a steal. Zhitnik, while all this is happening, takes the penalty. And the first Maple Leaf power play of the game.
Alexis Zhitnik, 2 minutes for holding at 9:31. Toronto Maple Leafs on the power play in the entire playoffs, operating at a 16.9% clip. 13 goals out of 77 opportunities. Pass across to Mironov. Mironov, his shot is high and over the net.
1 for 10 in the series, Toronto is.
Mironov can't keep it in, John.
Tom, when you give up a goal, you look to your team to have a good shift following the goal. And that's what Doug Gilmore did for Toronto, and that led to this power play.
Marty McSorley, though, ragging time at center ice, and the fans here love it. This is Marty's place. Vilified in Toronto, but they love him here.
His other place is on the beach.
Oh, he's got a lot of places in town.
Step out of his front door.
We better let that alone.
Here on the beach, he's got his own surfboard.
I wouldn't be surprised. Glenn Anderson breaking the zone. Drop pass to Todd Gill. Gill taking it in deep. He's double teamed. Anderson looking for someone to center to. Trying to get it to Gilmore. Went over his stick and down the ice. 1 minute, 5 seconds left in the penalty to Alexis Zhitnik. Toronto trying to get a power play goal to even this game up. It's 1-0 Los Angeles. Over the stick of Todd Gill. That one, though, didn't bounce. It appeared that Gill just waved at it. And he's going back in his own zone to regroup. 49 seconds left in the lead power play. Gill gets it to Gilmore. To Mironov. Soft pass, really, in front, intercepted in the slot.
Again, Los Angeles with their game plan, and it doesn't matter if they're on the power play, penalty, killing, even strength. It's aggressive, all over the ice, aggressive.
Borshevsky, Nikolai Borshevsky to Krushelnyski. Around the net, Pearson chases with Borshevsky. Granato's on Borshevsky's back. 20 seconds to go. The penalty to Los Angeles. Tim Waters gets it. And here come the Kings on a 2-on-2, clearing the zone. Donnelly to Granato. Granato's in the Toronto zone, and he thinks better of rushing it. He'll dump it in as the penalty is almost up. 7 seconds left on the penalty to Zhitnik. Borshevsky at center ice for the Leafs. Nikolai Borshevsky for Pearson. Pearson around the boards, and we're 5-on-5. The penalty to Zhitnik is over.
Toronto without registering a serious scoring chance during the 2 minutes.
Krushelnyski tries to get it in the slot. No can do. Gretzky up to Zhitnik. Got a 3-on-2 with Curry. Alexis Zhitnik carries in. Zhitnik behind the net. He is hit hard by Borshevsky. Dave Ellett back there, and Zhitnik gives Borshevsky a face full of his glove. Puck along the boards, finally comes loose. Bob Rouse under 8 minutes to go now, first period. 1-0 Los Angeles. Dave McElwain tries to loft it into the zone. He does. Kelly Rudy touches up and winds it around for Curry. Yari Curry can't get it. Sylvain Lefebvre does, and he hits somebody in the back.
I think that puck came off the glass of the boards again. Just not consistent here.
Bill Berg lost in a shot high and wide over the net. Back to the point. Andrechuk rebound out front, and luckily for Los Angeles, Luc Robitaille is there. He almost gave it away in his own zone, but now it comes down into the Toronto end where Sylvain Lefebvre touches up. Bill Berg at center. Nice pass from Lefebvre. Rob Blake just buries Berg into the boards in front of the penalty box. Zhitnik behind his own net. Leaves it for Jimmy Carson. On of end-to-end play here without interruption at the Great Western Forum. 1-0 Kings. Loose puck in the Los Angeles zone. With it is Pearson, rather Osborne. Osborne around the net. Conacher's on it.
You can tell when Rob Blake's effective, he takes the body hard and smart, and he's thrown 2 or 3 big hits during this shift.
Robitaille for Carson. He can't tee it up. Now he does. Potvin the same. There's a whistle. 6:52 left to go here in the first period. The goal by Rob Blake has the Los Angeles Kings on top, 1-0.
Hi, this is Jeff DeForest at the Parkway Pub, 3 blocks west of 441 on Miramar Parkway, joined by the owner here, Chip Disbano. And Chip, you were right. This is absolutely the finest food anywhere in South Broward.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. We do think we have the finest wings in town, great service, and the greatest food you're going to find in South Broward.
The Parkway Pub, featuring daily lunch specials from just $3.95, complete dinner specials from $7.95. Enjoy your favorite sports on 3 large screen TVs via satellite at the Parkway Pub, 6320 Miramar Parkway.
The cream of the crop, the top of the heap, the best of the best, the sale of all sales, and it's going on now at Recreational Factory Warehouse. Get our lowest price ever on this giant 7.5-foot 6-person spa, featuring dual pool-size loungers, top access filter, deluxe spa equipment, energy-saving pump, 6 adjustable hydrotherapy jets, spa side controls, and cedar cabinet. This week, just $19.99. It's a spa you'd expect to spend thousands more for just $19.99. What are you waiting for? Get going or you'll miss the sale of sales happening now at Recreational Factory Warehouse, your pool and spa superstore.
Welcome back to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. With John Davidson, I'm Tom Mees. National Hockey Night on ESPN. The Los Angeles Kings and their youthful fans will get up here. I tell you, this team has really caught fire in the Southern California area. The Kings lead the game 1-0. The series tied at 1.
The Los Angeles Times newspaper, if this team, Los Angeles, gets into the finals, they're going to even print up a special section on the Kings and hockey.
That's amazing.
Which is something when you talk about Southern California.
That's truly amazing and gratifying for the sport of hockey.
Absolutely. And if the Kings don't, well, it's been a pretty good run.
Well, not bad. Still a lot to be decided. 5-game series really it boils down to now, with the 3 of the next 5 here at the Forum.
So Toronto moved into Los Angeles yesterday, had a practice. Pat Burns decided on his lines and things. He's been taking a lot of heat about his weight. In fact, one radio station here today delivered to his hotel 18 dozen donuts.
Don Koharski in town?
So what Pat Burns did was give all the donuts to his girlfriend and the coach's wives, and they went out behind the hotel, found a number of homeless people. And the homeless people had a pretty good breakfast, which I thought was a very noble thing to do.
Absolutely. Pat Burns and Barry Melrose, both. You and I get to deal with them on an everyday basis, John. They've really been cooperative with us. Class acts all the way.
2 real good organizations to deal with.
In front. And Rudy comes out to Rob Wendell Clark. My goodness. Wendell Clark seemed to be on a golf tee there. Had all day to tee that one up. And before he could get the shot away, Rudy was there to make the save. And then Rob Blake took him out of the play. Here's Donnelly at center ice for Los Angeles. Mike Donnelly tries to hit Millen in the slot.
Peter Zezel slowly gets to the lead bench. He was hit behind the goal of Kelly Rudy and shaken up.
Wendell Clark in front. That is knocked away, though, by Charlie Huddy. Now it's Gilmore. He's got Daryl Sador all over his back. There's a loose glove and the puck behind the King net. Wendell Clark was fighting for it. The Leafs finally do get it in the person of Glenn Anderson. And it's off Anderson's stick. It comes out to center. 5:38 to go here, first period. And Andy Van Hellemond blows the whistle to stop the play. Let's go to John Saunders in the studio.
Time now for the Dodge playoff update. The Wales Conference game number 3. Montreal and the Islanders in overtime once again. Guy Carbonneau lets this one go. Beats Glenn Healy 2-1 in overtime. A 3-0 lead for the Montreal Canadiens, and they can wrap it up tomorrow with their 12th win in a row in the playoffs. That on the island. Tom and John.
Thank you, John. And as the Maple Leafs Mike Krushelnyski ties his skate places on the bench, let's take a look at some other action.
Some real solid work in behind the net of Kelly Rudy, and this hit here. Zezel was down. Zhitnik drove him right into the boards. Zezel slowly got to the Leaf bench, and he's still being worked on. Obviously a right shoulder problem. He was down below the level of the glass when Zhitnik moved into him. It's a right shoulder, probably numbing the arm and into the hand, and being worked on.
Daryl Sador, as Andrechuk is taken down in the Kings zone, going to be a penalty against Los Angeles. Felix Potvin still in the net because the Kings touched the puck.
Andrechuk will get the penalty.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andrechuk. Right. I stand. Andrechuk can't believe it.
It's in the offensive zone. You know, you want to be an aggressive hockey club, and some of the players who are not aggressive players, like Andrechuk, you've got to be careful. And he in the offensive zone gets caught. It's a high sticking call. It's a 5-minute major, I believe. As you hear the reaction, Charlie Huddy's been cut by the right eye. This really will affect Toronto. They lose Andrechuk off the Gilmore line, and he maybe is, well, he is your best finisher, best scorer on the power play. So Andrechuk is gone. What a loss. Big, big, big loss.
Andrechuk, a 5-minute high-sticking major and a game misconduct.
There he is moving around, and he's careless with his stick, and it comes right up against the right side of the head of Charlie Huddy. And it's a major. Andy Van Hellemond makes the call. Toronto's in trouble. Wendell Clark still complaining to Andy Van Hellemond. Kelly Rudy's been great here in this period.
He's been great. I tell you what Wendell Clark is arguing, John. He's saying, listen, Andrechuk is not that type of player. He didn't mean to do it, but the rules are very clear.
That's right.
The rules are very clear. If your stick, even if you're a little bit careless with your stick, if it causes a guy to open a cut, you get a 5-minute penalty, and he's gone. And remember, on a 5-minute penalty, for those who don't watch a lot of hockey, if the Kings score once, the penalty stays until the 5 minutes is done. They can score as many goals as they can in the 5 minutes. That's why it's such a major, major plus, in this case, for the home fans.
Well, Andrechuk leads the team with power play goals, with goals, period. So this is a big, big, big loss.
All right, to open this 5-minute major, Gretzky, Sandstrom, and Robitaille. This line hasn't gotten off the schneid yet in this series. Zhitnik will be on the back line with Blake.
You notice that Harry Melrose goes with these players a lot, though. He knows that if they explode, the Kings would be in great shape. And he really has confidence in people like Robitaille, who he used in the last minute of a 1-goal game in Game 2. He says, I've used them all year, why not now? That raised a lot of eyebrows from a lot of hockey purists.
Doug Gilmore doing some nice forechecking on Rob Blake. This is also, even if the Kings don't score, this can really tire out the opposition over 5 minutes trying to kill a penalty. Gretzky with lots of room. He'll take the pass in front, intended for Sandstrom, but Sandstrom can't control it. Zhitnik to Robitaille behind the net. The Kings pitching in. The shot by Blake. The rebound. I'll tell you, Potvin giving up some rebounds this game. Zhitnik's shot is wide, unlike Game 2 and Game 1. When there didn't seem to be too many rebounds.
Potvin now complaining about Robitaille around the goal crease.
Blake just wide. Rebound Gretzky just wide. He hit the side of the net.
The Kings look much sharper in this game, don't they, Tom? You can see the pressure play. The veterans playing better, getting to loose pucks.
And Toronto will clear the zone now. With barely a minute gone in the 5-minute power play for Los Angeles, and a penalty going to be called against the Los Angeles Kings as Jamie McCown hit the dirt, or hit the ice, I should say, at center.
An interference call. It was a tough break for Los Angeles, a good break for Toronto. The puck was moved back to the point in the Toronto zone, and the puck went off the skate of Andy Van Hellemond. Toronto gained possession and just didn't fire it down. They did the smart thing. They skated up with the puck, tried to make something happen, and Blake gets caught for interference as he knocked down Jamie McCown.
So Rob Blake, who accounted for the only goal of this game to date at 8:49, sits down for 2 minutes for interference. So right now it's 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes, precluding any other penalty. Faceoff will come in the Kings zone to the left of Kelly Rudy. Dave McElwain moving in to take it. So for the next 2 minutes, Toronto will be on even footing, personnel-wise, with the Los Angeles Kings. Elliott controls the faceoff and carries in. Dave Elliott, strong, steady defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs. McElwain circling around, leaving it for Elliott, but he wasn't there, and Darryl Sador has it for Los Angeles. Sador, cross-ice pass to Tony Granato. Granato in the slot, trying to get it to Millen. Millen couldn't handle it. Millen and Elliott go into the goaltender. No whistle now. Whistle. And Van Hellemond has called a penalty on Glenn Anderson.
You know, it took one high stick. And Van Hellemond now is saying, I'm going to work on everybody. Anderson, you can see his form of protest. He didn't argue. He just flew, I mean, like a laser beam right to the penalty box.
Well, Glenn Anderson will sit, and now the Kings with a power play again.
Teams were at even strength, and you see the Kings driving to the net. Elliott with a good job back checking, but it's in behind the goal where Glenn Anderson grabs a hold right there of Granato, throwing him down, and Andy Van Hellemond was about 10 feet away and made the call. Pat Burns his quiet form of protest, as you see.
Holding is the call at 16:09. So the Los Angeles Kings are back on a power play this time, John. We don't see this very often. It's a 4-on-3, which is very interesting.
Toronto goes with 2 defensemen, 1 forward, and Gilmore, who at times is like a defenseman. He's so smart. This is Gretzky's domain right here.
Gretzky and Gilmore. Gretzky tries to win the face-off. Kings are doing a better job even with the face-offs tonight here on home ice. Gretzky passed to Curry, and it's intercepted. Well, Gretzky just is seemingly a reluctant shooter tonight.
Well, there he made the right play, but Gilmore made a better play and hooked him just as he went to make the pass.
Gilmore trying to rag time off the penalty clock. You've got Andrechuk banished for the game in a 5-minute major. You got Anderson in the box for another minute 32. And in 1 minute, Rob Blake will be out of the box for the LA Kings. And they'll have an abbreviated 2-man power play. Gretzky winds up, shoots, and hits somebody in front, goes over the glass into the crowd.
And hit Gilmore's stick. A brilliant shift by Gilmore. He was on the face-off. The Kings controlled the draw, but he hooked Gretzky, which made the pass go bad. Toronto got control of it. Time was killed. The puck was shot down. Then he ends up blocking the shot by Gretzky later. Now here you'll see Gilmore lose the draw. But watch him go to work here. Look at him work. Look for the puck there. McCowan with a good hit. Now he'll hook Gretzky, hook Gretzky, hook Gretzky, make that pass a bad pass. Now he'll rag some time, short-handed, by moving up ice and then back. You're seeing a brilliance here. Not flashy, not one of these spectacular players, but brilliance. Hard work, reads plays, and gets it done, and he's still out there.
Gretzky controls the face-off this time. Curry is knocked down. Got up looking at Andy Van Hellemond, but nothing doing. Kings keep it in the zone. Gretzky moves in, shoots again. It is deflected off a stick again, high over the net. Sandstrom and Curry fighting for it. Sandstrom, who got the game winner for LA in Game 2, gets it. Back to Gretzky. Back to Sandstrom. Thomas Sandstrom off the skate of LaFave. Zhitnik pinching in. It's still a 4-on-3 for the Kings for another 25 seconds. Gretzky winds up again and hits McCown.
One thing about Gretzky's shooting is he very seldom shoots the puck low. And if he's going to take shots, it's very hard to deflect them when he puts them up around your waist. That's where he shoots the puck, very seldom on the ice.
Another 9 seconds, and the Kings will have a 2-man power play for about 25 seconds. As Blake is getting set to come out of the penalty box, he's now back on for 30 seconds. Los Angeles has a 5-on-3, and as I say that, the Toronto Maple Leafs clear the zone and ice the puck all the way in the Kings zone. Here comes Sandstrom. 5-on-3 are the Kings, but Toronto's Rouse intercepts, plays it off the boards and back to center.
Great defensive play. Gilmore was on the ice. He went off for about 10 seconds. He's back on again.
Sidor shoots it in 5 seconds. Glenn Anderson will be back on. It'll be a 5-on-4 power play again as it started. Kings not connecting now. We're going to have another whistle, another penalty called here by Andy Van Hellemond. And Bob Rouse and Yari Curry exchanging
they're both going to go. They're both going to go as Curry moved in to Rouse. And then they got their arms up a little bit. Granato with the offensive zone penalty. We've seen a number of offensive zone penalties here in this game already. I think by far too many. Toronto with a tremendous penalty kill. Did they ever get it done? Doug Gilmore in particular, and a pair of defensemen, LaFave and McCowan. The two of them, great. Now watch Gretzky here, sense that Gilmore's coming in. Oh man, he just sidesteps that hit, which would have been a big, clean hit, by the way. Now Granato there, hooks at Ellett, drags him down. Los Angeles could not get the puck into the slot, could not get the puck around the top of the goal crease of Potvin.
There's only one penalty called here by Andy Van Hellemond, and that is to Tony Granato. Note they've also sat Bob Rouse down.
Rouse and Curry will be out for the rest of the period.
And Yari Curry. The Dodge Intermission report coming up in just a moment. As Yari Curry will go to the penalty box for a rare infraction. Rouse is in there. Also, Granato is in there. We got 3 penalties called. 1 on Curry, 1 on Granato, and 1 on Rouse.
That's right. Granato got the original, and then Curry and Rouse were pushing behind the net, and they have been sent to the locker rooms, the last 2, because with the time left in the period, 1:47 to go.
So the bottom line is we have 4-on-4 hockey for the next 1 minute and 27 seconds. That's when the original 5-minute major to Dave Andrechuk will expire. Ellett behind the Toronto net. The last 7 or 8 minutes or so, we haven't seen much 5-on-5 hockey. Gilmore to back to Todd Gill. Ellett dumps it in the corner. Behind the net is Gilmore. Gilmore looking in front for Anderson, who couldn't get a stick on it. Rudy was beaten, but Anderson just couldn't get a stick on it. Now it's Gilmore again. Looking. Nobody back there to check him. McSorley's guarding the crease. In front of Rudy. The pass back out to the point area. Anderson can't control, and Sador clears the zone. Puck loose in the corner. Todd Gill finally picks it up for the Leafs. We're in the last minute of play here in the first period. The Dodge Intermission Report with John Saunders and Jim Schoenfeld coming up in just a moment. McSorley now has some open ice. 2-on-2 with Corey Miller. McSorley, drop pass for Donnelly. Donnelly, backhand, hits the defenseman in front.
Well, Jamie McCowan has been awesome here in the first period. He broke that play up, and I think Toronto, when they go into the intermission, will really look at themselves and talk about how good their penalty killing was.
McCown, his shot is very much fine off the boards and almost out of the zone. He's pinch in, though, to keep the puck in the zone. 25 seconds to go here in the first period. Wendell Clark can't get there. Rob Blake does. But now it's Krushelnyski keeping it in. Behind the net, and a bad bounce, and Rudy had to come out to cover it up. It's now a power play for the Toronto Maple Leafs as the 5-minute major to Andrechuk has expired, but the first period is just about expired.
Baumgartner came out of the box and stays on the ice. 2 seconds to go. And with all that power play time, the shots only ended up 8 apiece. Tremendous penalty killing by Toronto. The power play for Barry Melrose, not that good.
The only goal of the period off the stick of Rob Blake at 8:49 after 1. It's Los Angeles 1 and Toronto nothing.
There's a new style in business, a new school of personal expression. That's why we created Cambridge Software, a softer, more stylish way to keep organized. Business accessories detailed in real leather, durable yet very fashionable. Cambridge Software, part of a whole new style of doing business.
You probably think this is a tire. Actually, it's part of a muffler system. Its special design helps keep noise down. And it's also part of a performance steering system that allows the rear wheels to actually pivot, to hug a corner better. It's also an integral part of a suspension system that's precisely tuned to the way you want the road to feel. Where can you buy a tire this different? Just buy one of these. Intrepid. This changes everything.
The Dodge Intermission Report is presented by the New Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
Welcome back once again to the Dodge Intermission Report, the Campbell Conference Championship Series. And right now the Los Angeles Kings up 1-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs, looking to take a 2-1 lead. John Saunders and Jim Schoenfeld. You talked about it in the opening of the show. The Los Angeles Kings would try and exploit Toronto's weaknesses by using their speed. Have they been able to do that?
No, actually, they only got one chance on the rush. That was a 3-on-2 by Jimmy Carson. So the Leafs have done a good job in the neutral zone, picking up their wings, 3-on-3, 4-on-4 coverage. Where they got burnt for the goal was offensive zone pressure. And most of the Kings' chances have come that way. You'll see the Kings here. Here's a good 3-on-3. Watch the Leaf defensemen stand the great one up, cause a turnover. They're going to counter and get themselves out of trouble on the attack. That's what the Leafs want to do. The Kings are a great team on the rush. Again, you'll see 3-on-3, the speed back to Leaf defenders off. You got 5 Maple Leafs back. Great coverage. The Kings just throw it in. The Leafs are going to get the puck here, and they're going to counter. Now, you don't expect L.A. to get many chances with offensive zone pressure. That is not their strength. But watch this goal and watch the work by Robitaille and Thomas Sandstrom along the boards, 2-on-2. They're mucking, they're grinding. Now it's 3-on-2 as Sandstrom comes in. Oh, what a pass through Gilmore's feet to Rob Blake, who very alertly jumped in from the point, and that was a good read by Blake, an exceptional pass by Sandstrom. But outside of the one Carson chance, it's been all power play chances and offensive zone pressure, so the Leafs have more to handle than just the rush of the Los Angeles Kings.
You mentioned the power play chances. The Los Angeles Kings power play looked very effective at times, though. They're Toronto and L.A. both taking some dumb penalties. Fact of the matter is the Leafs were successful killing them.
Yeah, the Leafs were successful killing them, although I think they got away a couple of breaks when they had the puck on their stick. When you're killing the penalty, you've got the puck on your stick and you have time, it has to get out. And it did not in this case right here. Good pressure, good shooting by the Kings, good positioning by the Leafs. They're going to come up with a loose puck. Right there, Zezel, but he doesn't get it out. Blake's going to rifle the shot. Now watch from that miscue by Zezel, the great one. Look at that chance, and Potvin has to come up with a great save. Right here, Doug Gilmour's going to skate by a bouncing puck. You cannot skate past loose pucks in your own end. You have to put the brakes on and tie somebody up there. You can't gamble or hope that somebody else is going to get it. The rest of the Leafs penalty killing was pretty good, but they have to focus on those two areas.
Yeah, if not for the Kings taking a couple of dumb penalties, perhaps they would have a 2-0 lead right now because the power play would have been much longer. Right now it is 1-0. The only goal, Rob Blake. A nice move to the net from his defensive position. They're up 1-0.
The crowd seems ready. It's a beautiful spring evening, perfect for a doubleheader.
Domino's pepperoni cheddar doubleheader.
Buy a large pepperoni pizza at regular price and get an extra layer with cheddar cheese and extra pepperoni free. A pepperoni cheddar doubleheader. He steps up to the box. It's a long one. It's going, gone. And with every medium or large pizza order,
get your free Kool-Aid soft drink mix.
A 2-quart pack, 30 Kool-Aid points.
Something for nothing.
How about that?
At Domino's.
How do you order a Miller Genuine Draft Light, the cold filtered light with smooth draft taste at a singles bar?
Give me an MGD Light. Anyone have change for 20? We'll let him in here.
Say MGD Light and say no more.
Some things were meant to fade, and some things weren't. Like Dutch Boy's satin finish house paint. Nothing resists cracking, peeling, and fading better. Nothing. Dutch Boy, for the look that lasts.
Quote, a mid-sized Dodge Dakota with an optional 230 horsepower Magnum V8 outpowers, outhauls, and just plain outpulls even full-size 5-liter V8s from Ford and Chevy. Unquote. Dodge, the most powerful line of trucks anywhere.
Get $500 cash back on new Dodge Dakotas.
What would you do with a Motorola pager?
Never miss a meeting.
Boss at home. Pager. All right, you got the pager number, right? We're going out. Cool, this works.
A Motorola pager lets you stay in touch with the important people in your life while doing the things important to you. The affordable, portable Motorola pager.
Life goes on.
How do you order Miller Genuine Draft Light, the cold filtered light with smooth draft taste during the big game? Say MGD Light and say no more.
Welcome back once again to the Dodge Intermission Report. The second period is straight ahead from the Campbell Conference, but first let's take a look back at last night in the Wales Conference. The Montreal Canadiens and New York Islanders. They went to double overtime in game number 2. In game 3, it was overtime again, and it was a hard-hitting affair. Ray Ferraro's plastered by Kirk Muller. First period, Pierre Turgeon. Still hot. Brad Delgarno streaks in, feeds Turgeon. His second goal in 2 games. Islanders lead it 1-0. Glenn Healy with another big game, stopping Brian Bellows, who breaks in. And then he kicks out Bellows' shot from the slot as well. And Healy looked like he was unbeatable. Jacques Demers saying, how are we going to beat this guy? 5 minutes left in the third period. They finally solved Healy, but it took a bunch of rebounds. Healy actually coming up with 2 big saves, and then Vincent Damphousse over top of Healy, who's flat on his butt. In overtime, Pierre Turgeon breaks in alone, and watch this shot. Juan doesn't even have to stop it. It's over top of his shoulder and over top of the net as well. 12 minutes into the overtime, Benoit Brunet to Guy Carbonneau, and the shot trickles off Healy into the goal. Montreal wins it 2-1. Glenn Healy left to ponder a 3-0 deficit, but Patrick Waugh says, hey, this isn't over yet.
Not at all. I don't like people talk like that because, you know, there's 4 games to be won, and we only win 3, and we got to be ready for the next game. And like we did against Buffalo, we were ready for that 4th game, and we got to do same thing on Saturday.
Tell you what, Patrick Waugh says it's not over, but if he continues to play the way he's been playing, it may very well be. 11 consecutive victories, that tying a National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoff record in one season. The goals against average below 2, stopping about 93% of the shots. Now, Jim, we saw Pierre Turgeon break in and shoot that puck over top of the goal. The Islanders actually did some of that in the double overtime as well. They've had their chances to win in overtime.
Yeah, in games 2 and 3, I think the Islanders played extremely well. I think they outchanced the Canadiens during the game and in the overtime. Glenn Healy has played very well. Patrick Waugh has been unbeatable. And the Islanders had great chances again in this overtime. Turgeon with a couple and Steve Thomas. And I'll tell you what, this Patrick Waugh is just an exceptional goalie. This is late in the third period. Turgeon breaking in. The game may not even have gone to overtime had that gone in, but Waugh is right there with the help of his defenseman. This is a breakaway. This is the one we saw. Turgeon does not miss many of these. Waugh was out to challenge, didn't give him much net to shoot at. Thomas is going to let a laser go here. Watch the left pad. Patrick Waugh loses the stick but makes the save, and the puck is cleared before Melikov can rifle it. And this is the Carbonneau goal you saw. Not a great shot. Healy had a wonderful game. It's a shame that that would win off his blocker. But when you have a goaltender playing like Patrick Waugh and a team playing like the Canadiens, you have to think they're destined to get to the finals. The question is, are they destined to win a Stanley Cup?
All right, it would have to be 4 consecutive wins for the New York Islanders. They've actually done this before against the Pittsburgh Penguins back in 1975. But can they do it this year? We talked to Glenn Healy about it. Glenn Healy says, hey, it's not over yet. We still have a chance to get back in this one. Meanwhile, in this one here, it's 1-0, the Los Angeles Kings, after one period, leading the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Magic Moments, presented by Dodge. Ken Dryden came to the Canadiens right out of the Ivy League and was instantly one of hockey's most unique players. Though his career spanned just 8 seasons, Dryden was on 6 Cup champions and one or shared in 5 Vezina trophies. The 71 Stanley Cup playoffs saw Dryden emerge as a star as he won the Conn Smythe Trophy as the MVP in one of hockey's magic moments.
Chrysler Corporation has sold over 3 million minivans, 28 of which were bought by other car makers like Nissan, Toyota, and Ford. Maybe they were hoping to take our ideas and somehow improve on them. Their work has led to one sobering conclusion. Anybody can take apart the world's best-selling minivans. Only one company can put them together.
You know, in the 2 years I was away from baseball, I really missed the game. But the thing I missed most was going head-to-head with those Boston Red Sox.
The Yankees face the Red Sox live on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Stanley Cup playoff memories 14 years ago tonight. Another dream dies for the New York Rangers. MVP Bob Gainey leading the Habs past the Broadway Blue Shirts 4-1 to take home their 4th consecutive Stanley Cup. We'll be back with more from the Stanley Cup in a moment.
How do you order Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold filtered light with smooth draft taste at a Fern bar? You don't. MGD Light is far too cool for a Fern bar. Say MGD Light and say no more.
The best defense is not to offend. Thus, introducing the new Right Guard Sports Stick. Now with a time-release formula for longer-lasting protection against hostile odor all day. For protection that endures.
For all the thousands of words already written about the revolutionary Dodge Intrepid, Automobile Magazine managed to sum it up in just 4. Intrepid. This changes everything.
It's Domino's Pepperoni Cheddar Doubleheader.
Buy a large pepperoni pizza at regular price, get an extra layer with cheddar cheese and extra pepperoni free. Plus a free 2-quart pack of Kool-Aid drink mix with any medium or large pizza order.
Something for nothing.
How about that?
Domino's.
Hey, is that what I think it is? Yeah, it's my new Wagner Power Painter. Well, can you edge with it? Yeah, you can edge like this or adjust it to control the paint up close. And when I'm done, I'm gonna switch nozzles and stain my deck. Do a lot of other jobs I've been meaning to do.
Well, does it clean up easy?
Yeah, it's quicker than you think.
Why am I painting this by hand?
Good question. Get a Wagner.
How do you order a Miller Genuine Draft Light, the cold filtered light with smooth draft taste, at a singles bar?
Give me an MGD Light. Anyone have change for 20? We'll let him in here.
Say MGD Light and say no more.
Us Red Sox fans always love to beat the Yankees.
But we especially love to beat them when George is running the show.
Don't worry, we'll be there.
The Yankees face the Red Sox live on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
More of the Dodge Intermission Report. Let's remind you that there's more Stanley Cup play tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Will it be a sweep for the Montreal Canadiens? We'll find out then Sunday. Join us for a tape delay of the Leafs and the Kings at midnight.
And Chicago beat Los Angeles.
Yes! If you like sports, if you can't get enough of sports, if you want up-to-the-minute scores, point spreads, all the news on your favorite sports, then you need to call the 24-hour sports and entertainment line. Call this number now and get the latest news on football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever the season, whatever the news, it's all here on the sports and entertainment line. No need to wait for the news on TV. You can call the sports and entertainment line anytime and become the most informed sports fan in town.
$2.99 per minute.
The line is updated every 15 minutes. So what are you waiting for? Call the sports and entertainment line now.
And if you're not a sports fan like me, you can use the sports and entertainment line too. Call for your daily horoscopes, soap opera updates, financial news, and lots more.
There's also a great sports trivia game. It's really challenging and a lot of fun.
It's fun at your fingertips.
The sports and entertainment line. Call now.
$2.99 per minute.
Tomorrow, the NHL is playing for keeps. The Canadiens face the Islanders in Game 4 tomorrow night, live on ESPN.
ESPN's presentation of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Visa. Honored at over 6 million more places than American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Welcome back to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, everyone. Second period just moments away. The Kings leading Toronto 1-0. And had it not been for some good penalty killing by the Leafs, John Davidson, it would have been a lot worse.
Well, what you're going to see is Los Angeles all turning, all getting set for the rush up ice. Look at Millen on this side. Now, as we see Los Angeles head up, there's one man back to the left-hand side of the ice. Now, we stop it there. We see Jamie McCowan. See number 1 and number 2 King players heading up ice. It's a 2-on-1 on that side. 2-on-1. McCowan's got to get it done. Now, if you hold it there, you see the body work, You'd think that would knock McCowan out of the play and allow a scoring chance there. Wrong. Watch McCowan battle across, block the shot. Excellent penalty killing by Toronto all the way up ice.
All right, and we're set to start the second period. Remember, Tony Granato's in the penalty box for another 13 seconds. So the Leafs may, if they control the faceoff, have one more shot at a power play. Of course, there's 2 Los Angeles Kings in there, Granato and Yari Curry. But Granato will be stepping out in just 10 seconds right now in his 5-on-4 hockey. And the puck into the Los Angeles Kings zone, and Dave Taylor clears it right out, and Tony Granato is stepping on the ice. 1944 just underway here in the second period. Taylor behind the Toronto net. Dave Taylor with it. Gilmore knocks it out of the zone. Of course, one thing to mention again, John Davidson, is that Dave Andreychuk will not be available for the Maple Leafs the remainder of the night.
Wendell Clark moved up on left wing on the line where Andreychuk would be with Gilmore and Anderson. So Clark in place of Andreychuk right now.
The drop pass to Wendell Clark, and Rudy got a glove on the first shot. Boy, Gilmore set that pass up nice, and Clark had a rip at him, and Rudy was equal to the task. Now it's Gretzky. He can't control and goes right by Andy Van Hellemond. Boy, he almost high-sticked the referee inadvertently. You can't do that. Sandstrom. Glenn Anderson. Bumps Thomas Sandstrom on.
Toronto has had a lot of first shots, but they can't get to the net for second shots, and they feel that Kelly Rudy, who's a terrific first-aid goaltender, will take himself out of the play at times. And if you get a second shot, Kelly Rudy be down or out. But the Kings been back and have done a nice job taking care of the second shots.
Ice in the call on the Los Angeles Kings. The face-off back in the LA zone. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at our light beer scoring summary. Rob Blake, the only goal of the game at 8:49 in the first period. Assist to Sandstrom and Carson. Of course, you had Dave Andrechuk taking a 5-minute major, and the major was for high sticking, and that carried an automatic game misconduct, so he is out of the Toronto lineup for the night.
Wayne Gretzky working Jamie McCowan. Buck from behind. Andy Van Hellemond decided to let that one go. Jamie McCowan's been the best defenseman for Toronto on the ice. One of many, including Rouse and Lefebvre and Elliott. But McCowan, every second shift. Toronto plays 5 defensemen. That man nearest on the left side, Mirnov, hardly plays at even strength, mostly on the power play. McCowan's been fabulous.
31-year-old Jamie McCowan spent many years with the Calgary Flames before coming over last year to Toronto.
Granato in for the draw. Millen was thrown out for Los Angeles. You'll notice number 7, McElwain on the ice again. Speed for Toronto and a defensive posture against speed for Los Angeles.
Sylvain Lefebvre just saves it into the blue line. Shitnik has it come off his stick. Tony Granato has it momentarily. Osborne fighting Shitnik behind the LA net. Mark Osborne. Pass all the way out to the point, but the Kings controlling it. It's 3-on-2. It's the Corey Millen line. Granato breaks into Donnelly. Donnelly shot off the blocker of Felix Potvin, who appeared to be fooled by that shot for just a split second.
Well, there's one of the high shots Los Angeles wanted to use. And Potvin went down to the knees, but had the blocker up and stopped the high shot.
Dump at center. Corey Millen can't catch up to it. Dave Ellett dumps it right back out again. Wait a couple minutes here in the second period. Still 1-0 Los Angeles, and the goal by Blake. Series tied at 1. Shootchuk on for one of his first shifts of the night. Sending past to Millen, who fans, and it ended up going just wide of the stick side. Tim Waters can't keep it into the point. Waters and Sador on the back line for the Kings.
Millen line gets a shift. 2 scoring chances. 2 real good scoring chances. They got the job done.
They have been doing it consistently in this series. Mike Truszczyk using his long reach to set up Borshevsky, who couldn't control it. Nikolai Borshevsky waved on his shot, and Daryl Sador gets it around the board. Robitaille, who did not have a shot in the first period of this game, has only 1 in the series, and the Kings clear the zone. Maurice Shootchuk dumps it in. Trying to hit Robitaille on the fly, but Bob Rouse, who's played excellent defense as well in this game, intercepts it. Rob Pearson cutting to center. Tries to set up Borshevsky, but Waters has other ideas and backhands it to center. Dave Taylor, backhand pass to Jimmy Carson, but it took an odd bounce off the board, and Todd Gill is there from Toronto. Pearson with McCown running interference for him. Gets off a big shot at the blue line, but it was blocked by the King defense and back out to center.
Pearson coming off a serious battle with the flu. Lost 12 pounds. Yet he's able to get back into the lineup.
Wendell Clark takes a hard hit from his good buddy Marty McSorley. And the puck loose at center. Haven't seen much of McSorley and Wendell Clark tonight as far as physical activity on the ice. Gilmore now taken down by Warren Reichel, and Gilmore doesn't like it.
Reichel's had 2 hits on the shift. One, he helped knock down Clark and then knock down Gilmore. Those are the right guys to go out and bump.
Puck in and out of the Los Angeles zone. Gretzky finally corrals it for a moment. But a whistle for a face-off with 15:59 to go here in the second period. Well, the physical play starting to pick up here in the second period at the Great Western Forum as Warren Reichel says hello to Doug Gilmore.
Both Visa and American Express Gold cards can get you to England for the golf vacation of your life.
Charlie, how did your Yank do? Well, we're up on the 9th sea, and he wants to be up in 2. So he puts everything he's got into the shop, including his new graphite driver.
But should you have a stroke of bad luck, only Visa Gold can get you back on course, because Cape Cornwall's only pro shop doesn't take American Express.
Keep a grip on it.
Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Something this good shouldn't be kept all bottled up. For great taste that's less filling, Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
This is Jamie McCowan on the puck. He does not get the puck deep in the zone, and you'll see how that affects the rush. See how the puck didn't get deep? A quick play up ice, and here comes Los Angeles wide, and a scoring chance, a good save by Potvin. When you don't get the puck deep, the other team goes from defense to offense real quick, trapping your team.
Playing back on here with 15:50 to go here in the second period. Kings lead at 1-0 with John Davidson, Tom Mees. Game 3, Campbell Conference Finals, and a whistle as the puck is brought into the Toronto zone for an offside. Well, Gilmore and Gretzky. Much has been made about this matchup coming into the series. What about tonight?
Well, you see the time. That's one of the few periods in the series so far where Gretzky's had more time than Gilmore, even though it was only 7 seconds, and most of it was power play time. You see the face-offs, and for Gilmore, only winning 3 of 7. That's out of character. Gilmore was more of a defensive player during the first period than certainly offense when he killed all the penalties. However, he was outstanding. I thought he had a great period.
Oh, Baumgartner is starting to yap a little bit with Tony Granato, 2 feisty characters. Gilmore's out there with Clark and Baumgartner now, so let's watch Baumgartner and Granato.
Baumgartner's going to have to get ice time with Andrechuk on. They're both left wingers, and Baumgartner being worked on by Granato.
I'll tell you, physically, that's a mismatch, and I wonder if Tony Granato knows what he's doing.
Tony Granato doesn't know about his size. He thinks he's big.
Puck getting out of the Toronto zone, and here comes the Leafs. Dave McElwain got some speed in that right wing, but Rob Blake rubs his head into the boards. Van Hellemond is right there. McElwain wants a penalty. Van Hellemond says no. McElwain gets it back again.
Got one now as Zhitnik jumped on McElwain, knocking him down. We have a power play coming up.
Rouse also hit Granato, John.
Yeah, it was something Van Hellemond watched, and he may get one too. There may be 2 here.
Yeah.
It was going to be a power play for Toronto as Zhitnik was gone, and then Rouse knocked down Granato to even things up. Wow, way to turn of events. Watch Blake work on McElwain way over to the right side. A good crunching hit. The elbow came up, grazed McElwain, and he made sure that he stayed with McElwain, pulling him down. Now this is the one that evened things up. Rouse went right into Granato after the whistle, and Rouse took the penalty.
There are 2 Los Angeles Kings in the penalty box. Both Granato and Alexei Zhitnik have been sent to the box.
Oh, interesting. So Granato got one along with Rouse, and I think some Los Angeles people may be upset with that one.
The bottom line here is the Toronto Maple Leafs, John, will have a power play when this all washes out.
One thing to think of is that Granato's an important penalty killer, and Zhitnik certainly is a very important penalty killer for Los Angeles' defense, especially when he gets a chance to play against Borshevsky and Gilmore, 2 very bright offensive players.
You got Rouse from Toronto, 2 minutes for roughing at 4:48. That's the time of all the penalties. Zhitnik 2 for holding, and Tony Granato 2 for high sticking. So it ends up with the Toronto Maple Leafs on a 5-on-4 power play for the next 2 minutes.
No Andrechuk, remember that. Thrown out with a high stick, a careless use of a stick during the first period. He cut the eyebrow of Charlie Huddy. So that's a big loss. He's a brilliant power play specialist.
Another loss. Peter Zezel, we understand, will not return tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, the shoulder. The right shoulder was injured. They said it's a strained neck, but I don't believe that.
You question injury reports from the NHL? John, you realize what you're doing here.
It could be a neck injury, Tom. It was that area for sure.
I jested.
I know. I'll talk to you later.
1:24 left to go, and the penalty advantage for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have the power play as the whistle sounds for an offside. National Hockey Night continues tomorrow night live from the island. Uniondale, New York, the Nassau Coliseum. The New York Islanders try and stay alive. They trail the Montreal Canadiens 3-0. The last 2 losses have been in double overtime and overtime, respectively. Can the Isles do the impossible? They've been doing it throughout the playoffs. This may be too much, but you have a feeling, John, that they're not going to give up.
Well, I know a lot of hockey players around here were pulling for the Islanders in Game 3 to try simply to get the series extended, because this one here looks like it could be a long series. But Patrick Roy got his stuff done until his team scored. It's been a very hard-fought series. Both teams have played very hard.
Puck behind the LA Kings zone. Toronto Maple Leafs on a power play for the next minute and 7 seconds. And the Kings clear it. Todd Gill and Dave Ellett go back for it, and Gill will carry it out. Got Gilmore in the right wing. Doug Gilmore with it now. McSorley on him. Watch it. They go into the corner. Everybody's watching that matchup now. As the Kings clear a whistle, and the faceoff will be in the LA Kings zone.
You see Los Angeles penalty kill. You see them getting the job done here. Gilmore without Andrew Chuck to move the puck to. Here's one of the few times we've seen a Gilmore-McSorley matchup. We saw a lot of this in game 2. Good body play by McSorley, who's about 60 pounds heavier. Gilmore's around 165. McSorley around 235. And who should lose the one-on-one battles along the board? That man should win them. And he's so much bigger, and he's trying to play smart. You know, you've got 2 tough guys in this game. You've got both McSorley and Baumgartner, and both are very, very bright individuals.
And McSorley told me before the game, I said, are you going to go out with Baumgartner? He said, quote, I have to read the situation. If it's beneficial to my team, I will fight. If it's not, I definitely won't, unquote.
He played the last 4 minutes against Toronto in game 2. That tells you about his value on the ice.
Dave Taylor carries in, but they say the play was offside. Pat Conacher in ahead of the play. Even though the Kings were shorthanded, they had a 3-on-3 there. It's still a Toronto power play for the next 39 seconds.
Yeah, you really think about the loss so far of 2 players for Toronto. Both Andrew Chuck, we've chronicled that regarding the power play, the goal scorer, etc. Now you have Zezel gone. Remember, he's the best faceoff man Toronto has. He's their second best offensive center, and he was put on a different line for this game to try and get more offense for his hockey club. If Gilmore's shut down, somebody else has to provide it. So Burns said, I'm going to try and get Zezel. More offense, more offense. Now he's out with the injury. Toronto's in rough shape. They're down 2 forwards, and I would think Los Angeles would try to play a high-paced game to wear down the others that have to play.
This means Doug Gilmore's going to have even more ice time. Dave Taylor, the shot to save by Felix Potvin, and Gilmore with it. Leafs on the power play for still 24 seconds. Plays onside, in front. He almost had Wendell Clark.
Hit the goalpost.
They hit the post.
Absolutely.
Right.
Kelly Rudy was down and went right up high, hit the goalpost. Toronto, to me, with the problems they had with injuries, they've got to make their power play work.
8 seconds left in the Toronto power play, and it's offside. Glenn Anderson was in ahead of the play. Face-off back in the Leaf zone with 6 seconds left on the Toronto man advantage.
Another update on Peter Zezel. We're told a neck whiplash. Here's the shot that will be deflected in front and go right up high off of the stick of either the Leaf or the King player. Couldn't tell, but it went over the glove of Kelly Rudy and off the goalpost. It may have been Tim Waters' stick. Pardon me, Rob Blake with a long reach. There you go. As Wendell Clark was driving to the net, it was Rob Blake who has the longest stick on the Kings Hockey Club, and it paid off. I guess I'm not getting Wendell Clark the deflection, and the puck hit the goalpost and didn't go in. I guess you call that a payoff, would you?
I guess so. I guess so. Tony Granato's back in the ice. I know that for sure. And it's 5-on-5 hockey again. With 13:05 to go here, second period. Still only 1-0 LA. Gretzky into the zone. Pass for Huddy. The shot. Felix Potvin saw it and made the save. The rebound in front cleared away by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Into the player bench. We'll have a face-off when we return. 12:56 left to go here in the second period. Still 1-0 LA.
Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car. See it. Hear it. Feel it. Catch it, if you can.
To demonstrate how Subway's dropping the price of our 6-inch cold cut combo, I'm gonna bungee cord drop off this bridge. The 700-foot vertical drop gives me ample time to remind you Subway has the freshest tasting sandwiches anywhere because we bake our own bread, cut our own vegetables, and make sandwiches fresh before your eyes. And now with this price drop, our cold cut combo's just $1.49. Thanks. You're welcome.
The 6-inch cold cut combo, $1.49 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
We often talk about 4-man rushes. This is Charlie Huddy, a defenseman. He will be the 4th man in on the rush. As you see Los Angeles move up the ice, Gretzky's got the puck. Now, if we stop it there, there's 1, 2, three, all forwards, but we need the fourth man for Gretzky to be good. There's the fourth man, Charlie Huddy, getting the shot. Felix Potvin with another save. Defensemen have always been alerted. When Gretzky makes the rush, we need one to jump in to make it 4 men, and if you're open, Gretzky will find you.
With that patented drop pass usually, and Huddy got a good shot away. 12:50 left to go here in the second period. This is ESPN's National Hockey Night with John Davidson. I'm Tom Mees. Los Angeles leads 1-0. The series is tied at 1. Bill Berg, who's had less than his usual amount of ice time tonight, carries in. McElwain on a loose puck. His opposite number, Sandstrom, checks him into the boards, and out come the Kings at center. Charlie Huddy with another shot. It's wide of the glove side. Sylvain Lefebvre, and the Leafs clear the zone. Pace of play has slowed down a bit here in the second period, as opposed to the opening 10 minutes of play in the first period.
You know, how effective Bill Berg is. Gets a shift. Every shift he plays, he does something. That time he nailed Robitaille right at center ice on the boards and made Robitaille pay for standing still.
Mike Krushelnyski's shot well wide off the glass, comes out to Borschewski, but he can't control it. Taylor up to Jimmy Carson. Carson to Conacher. Conacher has it bounce over his stick. So whatever's causing the puck to bounce is hurting both teams tonight. Rob Blake cruises in, got some room. Potvin saw it all the way. In front, the bouncing puck. And Potvin the glove save.
That's 3 or 4 shots in the last 2 or 3 minutes that have hit around the waistline of Felix Potvin. And every one of them, he is let back out high in the slot. You'll see a great pass here by Carson. Now watch the shot. Watch where it goes. Potvin did not allow rebounds in the first 2 games. Look at that one. Right back out front, and fortunate for him, the puck was bouncing and Carson didn't get a clean shot. This is a shot that Potvin generally uses the catching glove, covers it. He's a young kid playing in this arena for the first time in the playoffs, and I don't think he's as comfortable as what he was during the first 2 games in Toronto.
I was going to ask you, John, as a goaltender of some renown in your playing days, why would a goalie go from giving up almost no rebounds to a lot of rebounds tonight?
I just think he's a young kid learning, nervous a little bit. And that's all it takes is just a touch of nervousness to not corral the pucks like he normally does. A little renown, huh?
No, I said a great renown. John, you know I have high regard. Even when they showed that clip of you losing to Montreal 14 years ago.
Billy Clement, he had a number on me too.
Did he?
Oh, absolutely. Who didn't?
Listen, I don't want to say you played a long time ago, but when they showed that clip, there was no advertising on the board.
I think it was in black and white.
No, it was color. We got
the world's biggest 5-hole.
All right, play back on here at center. Bob Blake's goal standing up in this game so far. And the Los Angeles Kings, Blake, oh, did he deliver a hit? He's going to pay for it on Mike Krushelnyski.
It's an interference call. Andy Van Hellemond is saying that the puck was long past Krushelnyski, and it should not be a position where he gets hit. This is exactly the type of play Wendell Clark got called for in Game 2, towards the end of the second period, when he hit a player after the puck had gone by. And here, Rob Blake moves in after Krushelnyski had moved the puck up ice. The hit itself was clean, but it was late, said Andy Van Hellemond, so Blake's in the box.
8 minutes and 45 seconds, the time of the interference penalty to Rob Blake. As the Leafs look on, they'll go on the power play again. They're on the power play for just a few seconds, starting this second period of play. Andy Van Hellemond lining him up. Andy, one of the real veteran referees of the National Hockey League.
He's the referee. Actually, 2 of them, the backup, which is Terry Gregson. He will probably referee Game 4. Along with Van Hellemond, and the 2 linesmen skated early this morning to try and loosen up, prepare for tonight's game. Wendell Clark on the ice in place of Dave Andrechuk for the power play. If he gets a chance, I'm sure he'll be right in on top of Kelly Rudy.
Leafs keep it into the zone. Some nice work. Anderson tried to set up Gilmore. Bounced off the skate of McSorley as the Kings caught a big break there. Doug Gilmore was loose in the slot. Would have gotten a great shot away. 1 minute 45 seconds left to go on the Toronto power play. Gill with it now. Starts the rush up for the Leafs. Trailing 1-0. Oh, a weird bounce off the glass. Kelly Rudy was surprised there. Gilmore working for it. Gilmore and Tim Waters, and Waters comes away with it. Pass pass off for boards, doesn't clear, and now it is clear. And it's a 2-on-1. McSorley and Curry. Marty McSorley and Curry scores!
Along the boards, you see McSorley, the defenseman, up ice. And Curry scores a second shorthanded goal of the playoffs for Los Angeles. And you'll see the puck get moved up the boards here. Now, if we hold it, look at McSorley. He reads and thinking that the puck's going to come out and get into the zone. And he reads it well. Oh, baby, does he get up high quick. Now, if we stop it there, you see Curry, he was waiting for the pass by facing McSorley. And what a great pass and a great shot it was. And Podbe had no shot getting across. The place is jumping now.
Oh, it really is, John. 7th goal of the playoffs for Jari Kurri, shorthanded. Give the assist to Marty McSorley, who really showed a great burst of speed for a man that big on the right wing along with Gretzky.
McSorley showed intelligence by reading the play, thinking there was a chance to make something happen, and that's the way the Kings think. That's the way their coaching staff thinks. The players play that way. McSorley had a chance to jump in, thinking offense. It happened, and he made it happen.
So the shorthanded goal, and Toronto still has a minute 15 left to go in their power play. Huddy backhanded along the boards, tries to get it out. Toronto now almost imperative they score on this power play to get back in this game, trailing 2-0, and we're almost exactly halfway through it. Shot hits the side of the net by Glenn Anderson. McSorley around the boards and clears it. He's had a heck of a shift.
He has stamina. He's 235 pounds, and he's thick and he's strong, and he has intelligence and toughness to go with it. That's quite a scary combination. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. The Leafs certainly know what you mean. Glenn Anderson dumps it into the zone after carrying it in across the blue line. 30 seconds left in the Toronto Maple Leaf power play. And the Kings have done a good job keeping the puck away from their goaltender, Kelly Roulier, in this shorthanded situation.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we ask your
Curry and Gretzky on a plateau of their own in Stanley Cup playoff history. Gretzky, the all-time leading playoff goal scorer with 103, just one away from Gordie Howe's all-time record of regular season and playoff goals combined. And look at Jari Kurri. That shorthanded was the 100th of his career in the playoffs.
Third is Mark Messier with 87. Fourth, Mike Bossy with 85. Actually tied with Glenn Anderson, who's in this game with 85. Then you go to Maurice Richard, Jean Beliveau, Brian Trottier, Gordie Howe, Brian Propp, Yvon Cornwallier, Bobby Smith. Not bad company, huh? Some fabulous greats of current hockey and past hockey. Wonderful things.
Face-off in the Los Angeles Kings zone. Remember, still a man advantage for the Leafs for 22 seconds. But the Kings will use up a good chunk here as they clear it out. And, John, the Kings have been winning their share of face-offs tonight.
They have, and they've gotten better as the playoffs have moved along. But, Tom, remember, without Peter Zezel, it's really makes a big difference as far as Toronto is concerned.
McSorley corrals it, and the penalty is over. The teams are at 5 aside. The penalty to Rob Blake is over. So it's 2-0 Los Angeles. Todd Gill tries to play at the center to Wendell Clark. Over his stick. Corey Millen's line is on with Donnelly and Granato, and Millen takes the bigger element into the boards. He's amazing. Millen doesn't know how big he is either. We're little.
Remember, Millen scored 20 goals in the first 30 games of the season. He's a very effective player.
Rhythmic chant from the Los Angeles faithful, and they're here in force tonight as they have been throughout the playoffs. And most of the regular season, this building has been sold out. Shot is taken and high over the glass by Pearson. This is Jamie McCown, who's been a stalwart on the fence for Toronto tonight. Lefebvre dumps it in, but nobody there except for Alexei Zhitnik. Zhitnik almost gave it away to McElwain. Loose puck, and Blake is on it for L.A. Millen with Granato on right wing. He's onside, but a good play by the Leafs to knock it back out to center. 8 minutes to go, second period. 2-0 Los Angeles. McElwain couldn't control the pass. Bill Berg is in the slot, but nobody there to get it to him. Zhitnik bounces out to center.
Toronto needs to send some defensemen into the offense to create offense. Remember, they have only 9 goals as a group, the defensemen for Toronto in the playoffs, and none in this series.
Michael hounding Jamie McCown. McCown letting him know about it. And a 2-line pass with 7:29 left to go here in the second period. It is 2-0 Los Angeles.
Angels, where you'll find the hottest, most beautiful women in town. Angels will stimulate your senses, quench your thirst, satisfy your appetite at reasonable prices. Angels features exotic dancing nightly, amateur contests, pool tables, satellite sporting events, and happy hour 5 to 7. Ooh, how about Angels Champagne Harem Room for those intimate private dances? Angels serves lunch from 1 p.m., entertainment till 3 a.m. Angels invites women 18 and over to apply. Angels 949-0139. See you at Angels.
Welcome back to a raucous Great Western Forum where they've been standing and waving white towels throughout the commercial break with some electronic prompting, I might add. But
we now have a shift where Baumgartner's opposite Thomas Sandstrom, so you just never know.
Yeah.
I think Baumgartner's got to be careful. Team's down 2-0 with 7:20 to go here in the second period.
Waters dumps it into the Toronto zone. Todd Gill is on it for the Leafs. 7:11 left to go, second period. And offside the call on Glenn Anderson. Will have a face-off. Back at center is Baumgartner, was offside on the right wing.
You're looking at Warren Reichel, who's been playing with a bad knee. And I asked him this morning about how he felt this morning after the team skate. Tommy said his knee was worse than what it was for game 2. And then watching him on this last shift, remember, he's a hitter, and you need your leg drive and power to hit people. His leg, I think, is bothering him. When I saw him bump a body during the last shift, when he went to turn, he just didn't seem to have the zip and the power in the leg. And if his team continues to lead, and if they build up on the lead, maybe Barry Melrose can rest him a little bit and not risk further damage.
Yeah, Reichel told me the same thing, and I said, well, how bad does it hurt? He says, not enough to keep me out of a playoff game.
Oh, he's a tough kid.
Rouse touches up, icing on the Los Angeles Kings, and back it will come into the LA zone. You know, the Leafs, one of the Pat Burns' objectives tonight was to get traffic in front of goaltender Kelly Rudy. Do you think he's done it?
No, as the game moves along, he hasn't had a chance. Because the Kings have had the puck the majority of the second period. The puck's been in the Toronto zone the majority of the period. Kelly Rudy hasn't had a lot of work. Remember, the best scoring chance is probably a deflection by Rob Blake, his own defenseman, when the puck went off the crossbar. In fact, the Leafs have had only the 2 shots registered here in the second period. And we've played nearly 13 minutes, 2 seconds.
Krushelnyski gets the face-off. It's back to Gill. Gill has it blocked off by the defenseman. Shewchuk. Gill gets it back and shoots, and Rudy was down, hit some traffic in front. It was right on net, ended up going over the top of the net. Rouse pinching in. With the Leafs down by 2 goals, Toronto going to take some chances. Rouse, top of the face-off circle, it's wide. And Shewchuk at center.
Los Angeles is a tough team to take chances against because of the ability that they have with the great goal scorers they have. And if they get great chances, you saw McSorley feed Curry. Didn't take him long to shoot the puck.
Puck goes over some sticks behind the Toronto net. On it first is Jimmy Carson, but his pass is going to a vacated area, and Todd Gill picks up for Toronto. Gill to Borshevsky. Borshevsky tries to hit Krushelnyski, and Granato's going to go for a penalty as the Kings touch up. Granato had both arms around big Mike Krushelnyski.
Granato gets his second penalty. It'll be a holding call, I'm sure. As as Granado got into the zone. It looked like the Leafs put 4 men in on the rush, Tom. That's what they have to try and get going. You see 3 forwards there. Granado back checking, knocking down Mike Krushelnyski.
2 minutes holding. Time of the penalty, 14:02.
So the time of the penalty to Tony Granado is 14 minutes and 2 seconds for holding. He'll sit for 2 minutes. And the Leafs get another chance at a power play and a chance to put some traffic in front of Rudy.
It may be the only time during the rest of the game with the loss of the players. We're talking about Peter Zezel and Dave Andrechuk for Toronto. The power play has got to be the key. Toronto has to find some offense on the power play.
Doug Gilmour in there to take the face-off. And Gord Brosker says, hold everything a minute. Face-off back to Ellett at the point. Gilmour to Wendell Clark. And now it's Conacher at center ice for the LA Kings. Conacher to Taylor, and Taylor was in offside. So the face-off will come back out to center.
Pat Conacher doing a great job working for Los Angeles. And then you think about the ice time he's had. You think about the ice time for Dave Taylor, the oldest player in the playoffs at 38 years of age. He hasn't had much, but he's effective when he's out there. As the two of them talked about how they adjust to the face-offs, whether you win them or lose them in your own draw, in your own zone. Conacher reacted well. Toronto won the last draw. Gilmour won it in the Kings zone, but the Kings got it out. They knew how to react to it.
This is Dave Ellett with it in his own zone. Mironov winds it around the boards. Toronto is on it. Anderson shoots high over the glove of Kelly Rudy. Mironov sends it back in behind the net. Anderson curries on him. Wendell Clark in there now. Clark for Gilmour. Gilmour bodied off the puck. Wendell Clark can't keep his stick on it. Mironov sends it back into the corner. Minute 13 to go. Toronto power play. Gilmour back to Ellett. To the always dangerous Anderson. To Mironov. Backhand shot. Trying to get it to Clark for a tip-in. It didn't work. Gilmour corrals it. Ellett in front. Rudy makes the save. Back to Gilmour now. Leafs setting up well in the LA zone. Anderson in front. They score!
And who else? Dougie Gilmour. It's a power play goal. And it's what Toronto needed to get back into this thing. The special teams now even here in the second period. A shorthanded goal for Los Angeles, a power play goal for Toronto. Wendell Clark does a good job in front. Tough to move him. There's some play where you see Anderson knocked into the goaltender. This is the save that'll be made through the screen of Wendell Clark. Now Toronto gets a chance to work the puck out of the corner and they get the job done. You'll see Wendell Clark interferes with Blake. And Blake can't get across to stop the pass in front from Anderson to Gilmour. And Gilmour scores on the bang-bang play. Everybody will think about Gilmour. They'll think about Anderson on the goal. But Wendell Clark did a real good job by being in front.
The official on that is Gilmour in the power play from Anderson and Ellett at 15-15. Let's see if that gives the Toronto Maple Leafs some jump in their stride as they're back within a goal. And still, of course, lots and lots of time left. 4 minutes, 30 seconds here in the second period. Honey in his own zone to McSorley. Dave Taylor picks up a loose puck at center. Conacher has it on the right wing. Conacher goes to the corner with it. He and McCown. McSorley from the right point. Bouncer in on Felix Pumpa. And McCown sets up behind the Toronto net. In and out of the zone, it goes quickly, and Potvin leaves it to Lefebvre. Sylvain Lefebvre carries to center, tries to dump it in, hits defenseman Tim Waters, loose puck, Berg. Rudy goes sprawling, and Bill Berg is unfortunate that he couldn't get some wood on that. Waters in the LA zone. Gilmour tries to intercept, can't keep it in. Now back to Anderson quickly. He's got Borshevsky in there with him. Tries to set up Borshevsky. Huddy takes him down.
Yeah, Huddy grabbed a hold of Borshevsky. He was lucky he didn't get a penalty.
Borshevsky at center. to Anderson. Glenn Anderson into the zone. Glenn Anderson cutting to the net. Anderson shoots, and Rudy gets the stick down to keep the puck out of the goal.
That's the style of Kelly Rudy. He'll get down, but he plays it smart. Big save.
How do you order Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold-filtered light with smooth draft taste during the big game? Say MGD Light and say no more.
Time to paint. Which paint has the colors you want? Which paint smooths on easily, dries quickly, evenly? Which paint lasts? Over a century of experience in every can. Tough, durable, a leader. Which paint? This paint. Pittsburgh Paints. You work too hard to paint with anything less.
How do you order a Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold-filtered light with smooth draft taste at happy hour.
1 MGD Light, please.
Say MGD Light and say no more.
Welcome back to the Great Western Forum, everyone. With John Davidson, I'm Tom Mees. The LA Kings lead the Toronto Maple Leafs 2-1. Game 3 of the Campbell Conference Finals on National Hockey Night.
Right in front, Wendell Clark has Rob Blake. And a beautiful little pass in front as Blake couldn't get loose. A beautiful pass across. Anderson feeds Gilmore. Toronto finally gets on the board on the power play. And Los Angeles has not played the pace game in the second half of this period that they should.
Right in front, Toronto scores! Ken Baumgartner has tied this game up. What an unlikely source. Ken Baumgartner with his second goal of the season.
Of the season. This is the fourth game of the playoffs, and Baumgartner did what he probably does best. Go to the front of the net with all the size. And a little pass from in the corner. When Toronto won all the little battles off the face-off, Baumgartner just redirected the puck in. Now watch the face-off. The puck will be battled towards the boards. Wendell Clark gets there first, fires it towards the front, and Baumgartner, who's covered, just reached out with his stick, got the puck on it, and went right in behind Kelly Rudy. Great. I mean, that's a big play for Toronto. You can sense in the second half of this period they've been the better team, and the Kings have to jack their pace up. They just have not been the quicker team.
Ken Baumgartner from Clark and Krushelnyski in 17:04, and the Toronto Maple Leafs without Andrechuk and now without Zenzel have really shown what they're made of here, John, coming back to tie this game. Pearson with it. Leafs putting pressure onto the Kings zone. You're right. Los Angeles has lost some jump here the last several minutes.
It has to do with the pace, Tom. LA's a quicker team. Toronto has the bigger team. And if the pace is slower, the bigger players will make do.
Andy Van Hellemond blows his whistle. Let's see if there's going to be any penalties handed out. Blake and Bill Berg were going at it behind the net.
Let's look again at the goal as Wendell Clark knew someone was in front. And look at just a smart heads-up play. It looked like Baumgartner was covered. He was not. Now we have penalties handed out to these two players, Berg and Blake, as they battle and battle and battle. It looked like Berg hurt himself as he went down hard. Look at this strength on strength, and finally the takedown, and both players in the penalty box. Boy, what a battle that was.
I think Blake gets 3 points for a near fall. The Visa storyline tonight, Game 3 of the Campbell Conference Finals. 100th career playoff goal for Yari Curry, shorthanded, that made it 2-0 LA. Blake, his third playoff goal, made it 1-0 LA, and Doug Gilmore scoring his 10th playoff goal, put Toronto on the board, and now Baumgartner has helped tie it up.
Well, now we have a power play. Blake was given 4 minutes. Correction. Wrong. 2 minutes apiece. My apologies. 2 minutes apiece to Berg and to Blake.
Both at 17:41, so it's 4-on-4. This crowd has been silenced to the Great Western Forum as the Toronto Maple Leafs have come out of nowhere to tie it up at 2 after trailing by 2 goals. Little Corey Millen splits the fence. He's taken down, and a penalty on Dave Ellis. And chalked that one up to the speed of Corey Millen.
And the effort. Corey Millen and Granato head up ice. They controlled the puck way back in the Kings zone, and then with that speed, darted up, and Dave Ellett was forced to take the penalty. You see Corey Millen on the puck here, and his legs are always moving. He knows how to cross his feet. See them there? Crossing, crossing, crossing. So he continues to drive. And Dave Ellett, the much bigger player of the two, just powered Millen down to the ice. Millen was smart enough to head to the net where the penalty occurred.
So Dave Ellett at 18 minutes even, which means he'll sit for the rest of the second period. And the Kings will have a 4-on-3 power play opportunity. Pat Burns shaking his head. His team has shown great heart coming back here to tie this one up on goals by Gilmore, who you would expect, and Ken Baumgartner, who has to be thrilled. Number one is he's in the lineup tonight. Number two, scoring a goal to tie it up.
Boy, very interesting. Robitaille was taken off the ice for Los Angeles, and Pat Conacher put out there for the 4-on-3 power play at center ice.
Robitaille doesn't have a shot on goal in the series. Maybe one now. All right.
Third period of game 2.
Still not a lot for 63 goal scorer. Got to do better than that. Zhitnik winds up, scores!
Now Conacher was out there to win the draw. He did. It was a 4-on-3. Gretzky controlled the puck, and there's the pass. You see the traffic? You'll see the traffic. There's the pass, the shot. Conacher may even have deflected it. I don't know. You got to win the draw to get the power play working. Watch Conacher work on Gilmore. That's why Conacher was out there. He tied up Gilmore. The Kings got the puck. A little keep away here with Conacher in front. Conacher in front. The shot goes past McCowan and Conacher. And it's 3-2 Los Angeles. The power play works.
The official is Zhitnik from Gretzky and Conacher at 18-12 on the power play. And Los Angeles has got the lead. A minute and a half to go here in the second period. Gretzky's centering pass intercepted and knocked back to center.
Tom, that's such a little move, but it's a brilliant move. A worry for Barry Melrose. He put somebody out there that can win a draw. It happened and they scored.
Doug Gilmore intercepting a pass in the Kings zone right in front. Oh, Rudy makes one save and Borshevsky goes high with the rebound. Nikolai Borshevsky had a lot of net to shoot at, and he missed. Wow, the LA Kings, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
1 minute.
And moves with the puck in their own zone. Under a minute to go here in the second period of play. It's been a good one. Toronto's fallen down by 2, come back to tie, and then on the power play, Zhitnik with his third of the playoffs. Carrying into the zone is Mark Osborne. Drop pass intercepted in the slot. And it's McSorley. He's got Gretzky on the right wing. McSorley dumps it in for a line change, but it comes out quickly to Todd Gill. 32 seconds left to go in the period. Brushelinski and Curry battling for it at center. And it is Daryl Sador. Sador carries in. Sador to the corner. Gill wipes him out. And the teams are 5 aside for the last 15 seconds of the period. Todd Gill waiting. Under 10 seconds to go now, as you see. He's just dump it in. This could do it for the period. 4/10 of a second left to go here in the second period. And we'll have a face-off. So, you know, they say it's humanly impossible to get a shot off in the NBA in 3/10 of a second. I wonder if it's humanly possible to do something in hockey in 4/10.
The linesmen do a good job separating people here. We'll take a look at the last Toronto scoring chance. Borshevsky deflected the puck out of midair. That was a good save. Borshevsky was not picked up. And the puck just caromed right up over top of the crossbar. And you see the style of Kelly Rudy plays. It is wild, but it's effective. Luc Robitaille has gone to the penalty box.
Wow.
I think one of the Leafs may go too. Maybe not.
Los Angeles
nope,
penalty.
Just Robitaille. So the Maple Leafs will have a chance to start the third period on the power play, and that's something for them to build on. Remember, the last power play they had, they scored the goal by Gilmore, the nice pass from Anderson. And I don't think it will be possible to score the goal with 0.4 seconds to go because it's a neutral zone draw, Tom.
That's right.
Intelligent, huh?
Well, you know, I was wondering when you were going to figure that out. You set me up so well with those insults, John. That's why I like working with you. All right, officially, the time of the penalty is 19:59 because there is some time left on the clock. But now the period's over. So the Toronto Maple Leafs will have a 2-minute power play to start the third period. It's been a good one from the Forum in Inglewood. After 2, the Los Angeles Kings in the power play goal by Zhitnik lead the Toronto Maple Leafs by a count of 3-2. As the teams file off, we'll be back with the third period in a few moments. Right now, let's go to John Saunders.
All right, Tom and JD, thanks a lot. So the Los Angeles Kings blowing a 2-0 lead, but they have the lead at the end of 2 periods. During this intermission, Jim Schoenfeld will take a look back at some of the little things involved in the second period. We'll also hear from Al Morganti as he looks at the Wales Conference final between the Montreal Canadiens and New York Islanders. So stay here. It's 3-2. Alexei Zhitnik, his goal on the assist from Gretzky, the difference in this game.
We'd like to make 2 points in this Avis commercial. First, you can get a great Avis saver rate on minivans like this. Yeah. You can get a great Avis saver rate on intermediate cars like... Let's go on. You can get a great Avis saver rate on a car like this. Chevy Cavalier at a subcompact price with free unlimited mileage. So call us and we'll grab the one you want. Which brings up point number 2, that the employee owners of Avis really do try harder.
Both Visa and American Express Gold cards can get you to La Roche-Guyon, one of the prettiest towns in France. But should something go wrong here, only Visa Gold can get you out.
You had to come to France, right?
Don't start, Marty.
Because La Roche-Guyon's only towing service...
No, we're not getting a tow truck. I can get this out.
...doesn't take American Express.
Oui?
Visa Gold, delivering what really matters.
Jamal's France.
Honey, that means I eat France.
Oh.
It's everywhere you want to be.
Save big at Goodyear because all Eagles are on sale now. Save big on every racing-inspired Goodyear Eagle and get the Goodyear formula for traction for your performance car. See your Goodyear retailer now.
Fast. Easy. You're done. Yeah. Beautiful. It's Kit. And it lasts. When it's this greasy, you need a more powerful cleaner degreaser. Castrol Super Clean solubilizes grease on contact, neutralizing its ability to stick. So if it won't come clean with Super Clean, it won't come clean.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be your bud.
Welcome back in the Campbell Conference Final. Right now, it's a 3-2 lead for the Los Angeles Kings over top of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And to the casual fans, there's a lot of things involved in this game of hockey that go unnoticed. You, however, are far from a casual fan, so tell us about it.
Well, one of my favorite players, the Kings' Pat Conacher, doing a lot of little things right for his Los Angeles teammates. Right here, he's killing a penalty. You're going to see him win the faceoff. Vitally important. Just before this, he had won a defensive zone faceoff that killed off about 20 seconds. Now they're on the rush. There's Conacher driving to the net, causing a little traffic, a little bump on Potvin. The Leafs are coming back. Middle of your screen, here's Conacher coming back. 4-on-4, loose puck. Who's going to get the loose puck and ice it? Pat Conacher. Down the ice it goes. A good shift by a hard-working guy. Speaking of hard-working guys, Marty McSorley. Now, we know that he's going to make a pass to Curry for the goal. The little thing is he's going to look at the goaltender right here. That freezes the defenseman Mironov, allows him to make that pass to Jari Kurri. And Curry one-times a rocket past Felix Potvin. Absolutely no chance on that shot at all for the Toronto goaltender. And now we're coming back, and you'll see a good play by Baumgartner, a guy you don't expect to score goals. A good play to the net. The bad little play is that a King defenseman does not move Baumgartner, that's Sador, nor does he check his stick. And when you're standing with a guy in front of the net, You've got to get him out of the way of the goaltender, or more importantly, get his stick in the air. You score goals with your stick. If it goes in off the skate, there's a good chance it'll be disallowed. If the stick's in the air, it's a disallowed goal. So a little hint for a defenseman.
Baumgartner's second goal of the entire season, not just the playoffs of the entire season.
But it could be a big one.
That is a bonus. It was a big one. All right. Now, you know the New York Islanders have won 11 consecutive games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But there's a team this year that's won 12 consecutive games, and they are the Turner Cup champions, the Fort Wayne Comets. The 12th game coming tonight against San Diego, and Pokey Reddick was big, stopping Scott Arniel. Here's a couple of guys who used to be teammates in Winnipeg there with a rebound. And then Bob Wilkie scores the game winner for Fort Wayne. The Comets have won the Turner Cup for the first time since 1973. 12 straight wins, 3 sweeps over Cleveland, Atlanta, and San Diego. Pokey Reddick finished the season with 23 wins and 1 overtime loss, a goals against average of 1.49. Only Hershey in the American Hockey League in 1988 has won a minor league championship by winning 12 consecutive games. So congratulations to the Fort Wayne Comets. They are the Turner Cup champions. Back with more in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at some guys who are in the 90s. Number 99 against number 93. Doug Gilmour right now with 28 points. Gretzky with 26. The race to see who may be the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. A lot of games left, however.
The performance and reliability of a true Hewlett-Packard LaserJet. The new HP LaserJet 4L easily surpasses other low-priced laser printers. The performance and reliability of a true Hewlett-Packard LaserJet. The new HP LaserJet 4L easily surpasses other low-priced laser printers for the breakthrough price of just $849. The new HP LaserJet 4L printer. Now's the time to make the leap. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud.
Here it comes, the ultimate baseball trip from ESPN.
All the ball.
Win a VIP trip to the All-Star Game and festivities beginning Sunday. Watch for details of ESPN's All the Ball Stars contest, presented by Schwab Superstick.
Back to the Campbell Conference in just a moment. In the Wales Conference, as you know, the Montreal Canadiens lead is 3-0. They can wrap that series up tomorrow night on Long Island. Now, this is a team that may be destined to win, but as Al Morganti joins us now, he tells us their destiny is teamwork.
I'm on the Montreal bench, and I'm beginning to think Canadians are playing so well that they could win Game 4 of this series, even if I was on this bench for real tomorrow night. Hey, this is a team which has a chance to set a record with their 12th consecutive playoff win in one season. But you know what? That doesn't matter to Canadians, and it doesn't matter to the fans in Montreal, where only one number really matters, the number of Stanley Cups you've actually won.
We're playing very, very well as a team, and I think everybody makes a commitment to go out there and really work hard as a team, because it's the only way we could win games. We try individual hockey, we try things, and it didn't work. And I think right now it's what makes us a good team. I think it's a team effort.
The key to the Montreal Canadiens' success, I think, is that everyone plays for the victory. We don't play for the fancy goal. We don't play for the route of any team. We just try and get ahead, and we definitely play defense first.
Everything is going the way of Canadians. Imagine 7-1 in overtime, and they've won 9 one-goal games. This is a team which is making all the breaks they're getting.
Winners make their breaks, and we do have the breaks on our side. I don't know if there's a God upstairs or things like that. But like I said, I think every game we played, we had confidence.
The captain of the Canadiens has given Montreal a 2-1 win in overtime.
For us, all we do is look at our next game. I mean, 11 in a row doesn't do us any good unless we can go tomorrow, have a great effort from all 20 of us and win the game. And, you know, let's face it, we're worried about trying to win the big thing, and we're not worried about the records beforehand, and we'll gladly give it up to take the big one.
So Canadians will come into Game 4 here tomorrow night, not thinking of 12 as in 12 consecutive victories, but how about doubling that and thinking about another stride toward 24 Stanley Cups?
They are a step closer, Al, and take a look. Montreal, 11 consecutive games this season, tying them with Pittsburgh, who did it last year, Chicago, who did it last year. And Montreal has a chance to hold the record by themselves with a 12th consecutive victory, and that would be the clincher against the New York Islanders. What I find interesting about this team, teams striding towards a Stanley Cup, teams who've been successful with a number of good players on it, might find it tough for them to accept the role of 4 lines, but Jacques Demers gets away with it. Teamwork is involved.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the key to the Montreal success. They have a lot of interchangeable parts. If they have a couple of injuries, they're able to withstand the injuries and keep playing good hockey. They don't rely on 1 or 2 guys to get the job done. They share the workload, and they're going to share the glory.
All right, not as much shared glory as perhaps in some other cities like Los Angeles and Toronto, where Doug Gilmour and Wayne Gretzky have been the show thus far in the playoffs. And when we come back, we'll find out who gets the upper hand in that series. Right now, it's 3-2 the lead. The Los Angeles Kings 1 period away from taking a 2-1 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Mountain man survival skills. The basics. A true mountain man must have a keen sense of direction, a certain physical dexterity, and a talent for surviving the most unforgiving climates. Of course, nothing is more key to a mountain man's survival than plenty of smooth bush beer and easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and learn how the mountain man survives even the most grueling conditions.
Call 1-800-528-1234 or your travel agent. Your best bet is a Best Western.
Hey, kid, how about a float?
There's nothing like the authentic Frosty Mug taste of an A&W root beer float. One taste and it will really bring back memories. A&W, our Frosty Mug taste brings you back.
When it comes to your financial future, Fortis can help protect you and those you love. Fortis, a worldwide financial services company, $46 billion strong. A powerful choice for mutual funds, life and health insurance, employee benefits. A name you can trust around the world and right in your own backyard. Fortis, solid answers for a changing world.
It's crazy. They love it, but that's why they do it. They're the relentless men and women of sports, doing what most people think is impossible. Max Out, weekdays on ESPN.
Can the Montreal Canadiens wrap it up and move a step closer to yet another Stanley Cup title? We'll find out tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time as they face the New York Islanders. Then on Sunday, it's back to the Campbell Conference at midnight Eastern Time on tape delay. The Leafs and the Kings.
Angels, where you'll find the hottest, most beautiful women in town. Angels will stimulate your senses, quench your thirst, satisfy your appetite at reasonable prices. Angels features exotic dancing nightly, amateur contests, pool tables, satellite sporting events, and happy hour 5 to 7. Ooh, how about Angels Champagne Harem Room for those intimate private dances? Angels serves lunch from 1 p.m., entertainment till 3 a.m. Angels invites women 18 and over to apply. Angels 949-0139. See you at Angels.
Now on Store TCI. Request TV pay-per-view. And here's how easy it is to order. Just choose your movie or event by watching Sneak Preview on Channel 40. Then order by phone by dialing the 800 number shown. Then tune to Request TV on Channel 41 at the scheduled start time. And sit back and enjoy. Ordering Request TV. It's that simple. You're watching Request, where you choose the best.
Tomorrow, the NHL is playing for keeps.
The Canadiens face the Islanders in Game 4 tomorrow night, live on ESPN.
ESPN's presentation of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light.
Nighttime in Southern California, everyone, at the Great Western Forum. The Los Angeles Kings take a one-goal lead into the third period of a game that really could turn the balance of the series one way or another. Very important game, Game 3, when the series is tied at 1.
Barry Melrose has his team in the lead by a goal, and his forwards haven't done hardly anything. If you think about this game, he's had a goal by Blake, a defenseman, a goal by Zhitnik, a defenseman, a shorthanded goal by Curry, but it was set up by that man, Marty McSorley. It's been all defense for the offense for Barry Melrose. Now, the score was 2-0 in favor of Los Angeles. The Maple Leafs on the power play. Glenn Anderson with a nice job moving the puck out to Gilmore. Clark stood in front, garnered some attention. That put the Maple Leafs into the hockey game. Then with the score tied at 2, you need things to happen. Again, watch Corey Millen's feet. Goal, 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 goal. And he drew the penalty on Dave Ellett, even though Dave Ellett only had one arm sticking out. He was so much bigger that Hellman gave him the penalty, and that led to this power play. Gretzky back to Zhitnik with Conacher standing in front. Felix Potvin was beaten. That's the difference in the game to this point. 3-2 in favor of Los Angeles, a power play goal.
And speaking of power plays, the Leafs open the third period. Remember, on the power plays, Luc Robitaille took a slashing penalty with 0.4 of a second left in the second period. So basically a 2-minute power play for the Leafs to open up the third. Glenn Anderson carries in deep in the Los Angeles zone. Gilmore in front. Wendell Clark is taken down. He wanted a penalty. He's not going to get it. Here comes Conacher for the Kings at center. Loses control and finally gains it back and dumps it all the way down the ice. We got a big beach ball in the stands. It's near the King bench. Well, that thing doesn't hit the ice. When you see something bob up in front of your camera lens, that's what it is. Mironov in the slot. He shoots. Oh, Rooney just got his blocker on it. Had to be quick. The reflexes are there for Kelly Rooney tonight. He's looked sharp. Remember, no Andrechuk. He was dismissed in the first period after a high-sticking major with a game misconduct. And Peter Zezel, they're telling us, has a strained neck, and he is out at least for the night, if not the next game. And the Kings clear the zone. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Luc Robitaille. Kings intercept at center again. Conacher, boy, he's been a thorn in the side tonight for Toronto. Here's Dave Taylor, the shot. Score!
That's 2 shorthanded goals for Los Angeles. Their third goal on the specialty team unit. Patty Conacher right there. Moves the puck up ice even though he got hit hard. With him moving the puck up ice, he gave it to Dave Taylor. And look at the eyes of Taylor looking for the opening. Where does it go? Up high. Taylor listens to his coaching staff. A shorthanded goal, a great shot off a hard-nosed play by Pat Conacher, who's had a strong game, and it's 4-2 Los Angeles.
Second goal of the playoffs for the 16-year Los Angeles King, Dave Taylor. Short-handed assist to Pat Conacher, who did some nice work stealing the puck, John, at center ice to set Taylor up.
Absolutely. Pat Conacher with a brilliant shift. All he does is work. He learned a lot of hockey from former Devils coach, now coaching, actually former Washington coach too, and now one of the coaches with Boston, Tommy McVie.
Yeah.
And he learned about work habits and character. And as he's showing it throughout these playoffs, these are some of his most golden moments for him in his hockey career.
Remember, the Leafs are still on the power play, and Los Angeles clears the zone. 10 seconds left now. The penalty to Luc Robitaille. So the Leafs had made up one 2-goal deficit. They're going to have to do it again. As Gretzky poke-checked the puck away. Potvin covered. Robitaille is back on. We're back at 5 aside. And the Kings have killed it off and then some with their second shorthanded goal.
It gives them 4 in the playoffs. They've given up 3, but they've gotten 4, and 2 very, very big ones here in this game.
Now I'm sure Barry Melrose will remind his players when they get to the bench, don't sit back.
I don't think he has to remind his team. They don't. I mean, they don't believe in that. That's not the team philosophy. What happens, though, is you sometimes can give up good scoring chances because of it.
Here's little Corey Millen. He gets by Ellett. Millen to Granato in front. His stick was being tied up by Rouse in a good job. Robitaille behind the net. In front. Saved by Potvin on Millen. Potvin had to be quick as a cat, which is his nickname on that one. Wojciechowski into the LA zone. McSorley around the boards. And out. Jamie McCown looks back in for Toronto. There's Millen at center. Donnelly gets it, and he's onside. Donnelly dumps it in the corner, but only McCown of Toronto is there. Blake keeps it in. And now it's out, and it's Zhitnik with it. Millen deflecting it. Trying to get around Lefebvre is Millen. Boy, he doesn't mind going up high on bigger people, does he, Millen? A whirling dervish out there.
The long shift for both Millen and Donnelly here. Shuchuk has replaced Granato, and the Kings have to be disciplined regarding long shifts. Not necessary.
And even Hellman telling him to play the puck. Play the puck. He's not going to blow the whistle for a face-off. That scrum results in Shuchuk having possession.
This may result in Toronto taking a penalty the way these Kings are working.
Millen to Zhitnik from the point. In front off the stick of Shuchuk. Just wide. And the Maple Leafs send it down into the LA zone. No icing as Zhitnik gets control. Alexis Zhitnik to center. The fans on their feet. Zhitnik the shot. Just wide. Sandstrom on the right wing. Behind it at the Gretzky. Gretzky looking. And his centering pass intercepted by Gilmore. Comes to center, and the Kings dump it in again. Rouse sends it out for Toronto. This is Wendell Clark. Gilmore cuts to center. Gilmore, ever dangerous. Baumgartner going for his second of the night. Loses control. Back the other way we go with Sandstrom. Around Todd Gill. Centering pass intercepted by Rouse. And here come the Maple Leafs. Gilmore carries in for Baumgartner. Winds up. Rudy with a glove save. And leaves it for his defenseman. Back and forth we go. It's Robitaille. Poke checked away by Sylvain Lefebvre. Baumgartner to Clark. Wendell Clark. Double team gets to Lefebvre. A shot on Rudy, and he holds on to get the faceoff. 14:34 left to go in the third period, and they're chanting Rudy in LA.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
The best defense is not to offend. Thus, introducing the new Right Guard Sports Stick. Now with a time-release formula for longer-lasting protection against hostile odor all day. For protection that endures.
Here's 2 points about Avis. One, we've got great Avis saver rates on compacts, intermediates, and minivans like this Chevy Lumina. With free, unlimited mileage. Call us. We'll grab the one you want. Point 2, as employee owners, we really do try harder.
Welcome back to the Forum in Inglewood as we take a look at some action just a moment ago.
This is the shot. Now watch in front as Baumgartner will work over the goaltender. Right there. Kelly Rudy with great concentration kept the glove outside the goalpost with a puck in it. And the fans, boy, they know how to have a good time here in Los Angeles. They've never been here this late, and they're having, just look at it, man, it's a great time.
It's Bedlam reminding you and me, John, of Game 6 against Vancouver when they finally, for the first time in their history, got out of the division in the playoffs. Every minute that goes by is a new record in Los Angeles Kings history as far as length of the season. Potvin as Dave Taylor was in there contesting for possession.
Potvin's a goaltender that'll dump the puck off very well to his defenseman, but very seldom does he pass it up ice. That's not one of his strengths.
Puck's loose at center, and it's McCowan on it for Toronto. 4-2 Los Angeles, 14 minutes to go. Borshevsky, and a nice job done there by McSorley, who went down sliding to block the centering pass. And it's McSorley on the loose puck. McSorley's had a good game tonight, and he hasn't dropped one glove. Borshevsky into the Los Angeles zone, and he is bodied to the boards by Granato. He pushes Granato down. Nikolai doesn't like getting hit.
I don't blame him. Who does? But, but Granato was looking for the retaliation penalty.
Rouse almost had a scoring chance, but it bounced off his stick to Zhitnik. This is Ellen back in his own zone. His pass is just off the top of the glass. Pearson has it for Toronto, but a nice poke check by Rob Blake. Berg is lined up by Blake, who nails him at center. And it was perfectly legal. Berg was skating with his head down.
It's a great hitting this shift.
Oh. Rouse behind the kick net. Center's in front. Berg can't get a stick on it, and a whistle as Rudy covers up.
Berg, we've got pushing on the other side of the ice. Rouse along with Millen. We've got Berg pushed down by Blake. Oh, a lot of festering of little wars going on all over the ice.
With all the performance and reliability of a true Hewlett-Packard LaserJet, the new HP LaserJet 4L easily surpasses other low-priced laser printers for the breakthrough price of just $849. The new HP LaserJet 4L printer. Now's the time to make the leap. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
Why is it always the same old story? Why ask why? Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste. Bud Dry. When it comes to a great beer, we wrote the book.
Los Angeles by 2 in the third period. We've seen some great hitting. Tony Granato will give Borshevsky a facial right here. There. Watch Borshevsky react. Ooh, man, with a left cross to Granato. Every time Granato's on the ice, we have fun. Blake there nails Bill Berg. This was all during the same shift. Great hitting, both teams.
And clean hitting. Sticks down, bodies piling into each other.
The gloves are up, though.
Well, that's all right.
Gloves are up. Maybe better than that upcoming fight, you know.
What fight is that?
That heavyweight fight coming up.
The guy you see, 42-1 shot. Please. Gretzky into the corner. Dave Taylor behind the net. Oh, centering pass is intercepted by Luis. Wendell Clark. Conacher was patrolling the slot. Wendell Clark into the zone. Clark shoots just wide. Rebound. Gilmore couldn't control it. Now it's Todd Gill. Anderson on the right wing boards. McCowan down low. In front, but nobody home. McSorley racing with it for Gill, and McSorley pulls up. Gill to McCowan. They got Gill rather shooting a puck into the King zone. Sidor in the corner with Clark. And Yari Curry, who's got a shorthanded goal tonight, steams at center. Borshevsky Krzyzewski almost broke it alone as Sador just about had that puck bounce by him. McElwain clears the zone for Toronto. It's back and forth the last couple of minutes. Kings will take that exchange with a 2-goal lead. Krzyzewski taken down. No penalty call. This is Baumgartner. He's wide. Krzyzewski in front, tries the wraparound. Rudy holds his ground. 11:05 left to go in the period. Sandstrom into the zone. Thomas Sandstrom. And a pad save by Puntman. Behind the net in front to be Carson. He shoots it right into Puntman's head. Sandstrom in front. And Lefebvre is after Sandstrom. And we have a scrum to the left of the goaltender for Toronto. Jimmy Carson. And who is that? Borshevsky?
Mike Krzyzewski is also there.
Time to look at the Bud Stanley Cup summary from the Great Western Forum. Doug Gilmour still leads all playoff scoring with 28 points. Pete Carbonell, Kirk Muller, Ferraro each have 2 overtime playoff goals. NHL record is 3. Islanders power play 8 for 79 in the playoffs. Montreal 1 for 16.
Los Angeles tried to make it 5-2. And let's look at Jimmy Carson. Jimmy Carson's got to stay in there and look for the second shot. Great attempt here by Sandstrom, goes wide. The puck will go to the front. As you see Sandstrom battle to get back. Now Carson, instead of looking for the puck, was looking around to see if he was going to get hit. And you see the puck driven away from Potvin.
2 minutes each for roughing.
And out of that exchange near the Toronto net, John, we have coincidental minors. Robitaille for the Kings gets 2 minutes for roughing, and Bob Rouse of Toronto 2 minutes for roughing.
2 minutes each. Roughing.
So 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. 10:55 ready to go, third period. Millen against McElwain on the faceoff. And now Corey Millen is being asked to leave the circle. Why do the linesmen do that?
They have to. There's rules regarding face-offs. Corey Millen did not follow the procedure, so you'd be penalized. And the way you're penalized is to have somebody else move it.
Millen fighting to keep it into the zone. A lot of fans watching hockey the first time might wonder why they do that every now and then. McElwain couldn't control the centering pass. In the corner, Blake takes him down, and a whistle as McElwain falls on top of the puck. We're going to have another face-off. Don't forget, Game 4 of this series will be coming your way on ESPN's National Hockey Night. You can see it at midnight Eastern Time. That's 9 o'clock in the Pacific Time Zone. Write it down. That'll come after Sunday Night Baseball and after Sports Center. So that's Game 4 on a delayed tape basis, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific Time, right here on ESPN.
Now, I don't know if it's me or what, but the man standing to the right, you can just see the part of his jersey as Doug Gilmour. And I don't think Gilmour's seen nearly as much ice time here in the third period with his team down by a couple of goals, and I'm not sure why.
Rod Blake, the defenseman, up on the left wing. Blake breaking in on Allen. Gets a weak one in on Potvin. Blake thinking he was the second coming of Gretzky there for a moment, trying to break in front of the net.
You mentioned that Gretzky, again we'll mention that Gretzky had some minor surgery this morning, a badly ingrown toenail. He had to go to the doctor, freeze the toe up, and they went to work to relieve the pressure. And again, he said before the game that it felt a whole lot better with the pressure gone than what it did this morning. Got to take care of. Gilmour getting a shift now. It just seems as though he hasn't been as dominant in the second half as he was in the first half, and perhaps it was because he spent all that energy killing penalties in the first period. He was brilliant at it, but it may have worn him down somewhat.
That's where getting a penalty called against you, even if you are successful at keeping the puck out of the net over a 60-minute hockey game, that toll can take on you.
A lot of work when you play defensive. A lot of work to play defensive style hockey.
Charlie Huddy with it. Ping pogs it to Gretzky. Leafs doing some forechecking now deep in the LA Kings zone, down by 2 goals with under 10 minutes to play. Now the pressure's off and Huddy carries out the center. Thomas Sandstrom. Felix Potvin leaves it for Jamie McCown. 43 seconds left to go in the Toronto power play as Robitaille sits in the box. I'm sorry, no power play. 4 on 4. 35 seconds left in the coincidental minors is what I meant to say. 9:26 to play, third period. McSorley with a drive. He half-fanned on it. The rebound in front. Granato, and McSorley might have hit a post. Granato might have hit the outside of the post again.
Right. The second shot, I think, hit the post. McSorley kind of half-fanned on this shot. It almost fooled the goaltender. The rebound got away, and then the outside of the post was hit.
In the corner, Gilmore and Granato. And this is Glenn Anderson with it at center. Hounded from behind by his former teammate in Edmonton, Yari Curry. Still gets a centering pass in front. Attempted for McCown. Zhitnik now is on Anderson. Todd Gill in front. Couldn't control. Oh, Gill was in the slot unchecked.
He was checked. Gretzky got his stick as he went to shoot the puck. Now, Gretzky's been criticized for the lack of offense, but I have never seen him more concentrated on playing defense, and he made a brilliant play there to stop what would have been a tough save for Kelly Rudy.
Remember after game 1 when Pat Burns sort of indirectly criticized Gretzky for not playing 200 feet of the ice?
Oh, what a memory you have.
Oh, what a memory Wayne Gretzky has. With stats like his, though, it was pointed out, who cares if he plays 200 feet? The home run hitter.
And who pointed it out? Barry Melrose.
Yeah. Sandstrom pulls up. Ellett is on him, and Gill takes over. Teams are now 5 aside. Todd Gill into the LA zone. Around the boards, Rudy can't control it. It comes out for Pearson. Huddy is on Clark. Millen is on Krushelnyski. In front, Pearson gets a backhander, and Rudy covers in the goal crease. The force of face-off. 7:48 left to go. Third period. It remains the LA Kings up by 2.
Angels, where you'll find the hottest, most beautiful women in town. Angels will stimulate your senses, quench your thirst, satisfy your appetite at reasonable prices. Angels features exotic dancing nightly, amateur contests, pool tables, satellite sporting events, and happy hour 5 to 7. Ooh, how about Angels Champagne Harem Room for those intimate private dances? Angels serves lunch from 1 p.m., entertainment till 3 a.m. Angels invites women 18 and over to apply. Angels 949-0139. See you at Angels.
Would you like to have the newest and greatest rock music ever recorded right in the palm of your hand? Artists like Billy Idol, songs like Remedy, Roxanne, and more. Get ready for the future. Inside, DMX has digitally programmed music from tens of thousands of CDs to play through your home stereo on 30 great channels. Digital Music Express. Give us a call.
This is Wayne Gretzky here. He's thinking about heading up ice, thinking offense. But watch how he turns around and comes back. Now, if we stop it right here, look at him turn into Todd Gill. Now, watch what he does with his stick. The pass will go right out in front. He lifts Gill's stick up and swipes the puck away. He's criticized a lot for lack of defense. That showed how quick he can think, how he can jump back, and he got the job done nicely.
Face off in the Kings zone, and Los Angeles wins another one. Donnelly sweeps it out of the zone. Shots on goal in the game. Almost dead even, 22-21 LA. But 2 big shots on goal have been taken shorthanded and found the Toronto net. We take a look at the faces. That's Doug Gilmore.
Pat Burns talked to Doug this morning at practice regarding tonight's game, regarding his concentration and focus. Concentration and focus. He hasn't been punished as much in this game, but at the same time, his team has only been able to score 2 goals thus far. One of them on the power play. That was a goal by Gilmore. He said he feels strong again. He's over the flu bug that he had in Game 7 against St. Louis. Feels strong. Time change, I think, will bother Toronto than more so than it would Los Angeles. The King players are more used to it. The longer this series goes, the Kings feel that if it goes 6 or 7 games and all the east-west travel, 3-hour time changes per trip, the Kings feel very good about it.
That's a good point. There is no team in the National Hockey League, with the possible exception of Vancouver, that does more cross-country traveling back and forth in a season than the Los Angeles Kings. And they welcome the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim next season because of that fact.
Well, San Jose does a little bit too, I guess.
Yeah, that helps it out. Oh, penalty.
No.
I'm sorry, icing.
Right.
Oops. Icing. Saw a body go down, and
Corey Millen's arguing with the linesman, Gord Brossiger, saying that he got there first and it should not have been icing. Now they're saying it's a situation where if you watch the puck go into the zone, Jamie McCowan's working. Ooh, Millen may have gotten there first. He may have had a real good argument, and he paid for it. Corey Millen was criticized by Barry Melrose by not getting his nose into heavy traffic plays like that last one. And Corey Millen responded. He was actually sat out in one of the games of the Vancouver series, but he's responded. He has been real good, along with Mike Donnelly and Tony Granato in this series against Toronto. Real good. And he put his nose in the last play. Remember, he drove to the net, which led to a penalty to Ellett, which led to a power play goal by Shitnik. He has been good.
On with that line now, and on defense are Huddy and McSorley. Charlie Huddy picks up the faceoff, but he can't get it out. Ellett in front. McElwain can't control. And now it clears to center. The Kings, I think, will be satisfied just to keep the puck out of their zone as much as they can. 2-goal lead at home with 7:10 to go.
Toronto still trying to play a lot of McElwain, the quick centerman against Millen, the quick centerman for Los Angeles. Barry Melrose doesn't care much about matchups.
Millen to Granato on right wing. Back to Millen. To Granato, who's in deep. Leaves it for Donnelly, but Ellett gets there first. Blake, though, keeps it in. Ellett for Toronto. This is McElwain. Leaves it for Todd Gill. Centering pass intercepted by Shitnik. Back to center we go. Shuchuk is on. Harry Shuchuk, the hero of Game 5 in double OT against Vancouver, avoids the Gilmore check. And the Leafs come out of it with Clark to Anderson. Anderson's got Gill on left wing. Todd Gill leaves it for Anderson, and Shitnik takes him down. Now the shot by McCown, and it's wide.
Yeah, we talked a while ago about Toronto having to get 4 men in on the rush. Todd Gill has been really trying to do it. Never Gretzky stripped the puck of him early. That time he was in behind the goal even of Kelly Rudy as we have an offside call. But Todd Gill really trying to jump in on the play.
6 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third period. Doug Gilmour saw his helmet for the moment. His Leafs down by 2 goals. Game 4 will be Sunday here at the Great Western Forum.
This is the play where Gilmour, working on Shuchuk, caused the turnover. Gilmour ends up losing his helmet on play. See how he's holding Shuchuk out of the play? That allowed Wendell Clark to move up ice with the puck. Gilmour had to pay a little price at the end of it all. Now looking up, 6:05 to go. He's played 23 minutes, and if he plays half the last 6, you're looking at around 27, which is, I guess, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And for him, it's normal, but it's quite a bit. And here I thought that he had missed some time early in the third period, and I'm wrong, obviously, when you look at those numbers.
Well, maybe the Kings have been doing a good job covering him tonight, and he hasn't been so obvious in the offensive end.
Maybe he just hasn't, as dominant, and maybe he just burned himself out a little bit in the first half, again, with all that fine penalty killing that he was involved with.
And the 5-minute major taken by Dave Andrechuk, very costly in more ways than one. It was done in the first period, accidentally, but it was done. Side of the head of Charlie Huddy opened the wound, and the rules say you get your stick up and you cause a cut, you get a game misconduct and a 5-minute major.
Toronto having trouble coming out of their own zone now, Tom. You're seeing 2 Kings going deep, the third one staying up at the blue line. And Toronto can't get flow. 3 times in a row they tried to break out, didn't work.
That's something Pat Burns said about Game 2. They could never get any flow going because they're always in the penalty box. Complained about that. Dave Taylor in front. Potvin the save. Remember.
Could be a penalty here. Wendell Clark just skated in and flattened Carson. Now Gilmour jumps on. And the Leafs are going to blow whatever chance they have of getting back into this game. They've lost it here. I think Wendell Clark's going to get a minor. It may be Carson jamming the goaltender that upset the Leafs. And the Leafs lose on this exchange. Now Anderson moves in to try and get a Jimmy Carson. And Pat Burns has to be somewhat upset here. His team will be shorthanded with 5:10 to go. The captain, Clark, is in the box. And there's no doubt, he skated right into Carson and flattened him. Now, did Carson jab away at the goaltender? Possibly. But that's when you've got to try and control your emotions. Gilmour actually was the second player to move in and hit Carson, and he got away with it. Now
we're going to take a look at the replay and see if we can figure this thing out.
The save was made by Potvin. You'll see the shot here by Taylor. Now watch Carson, number 12, right up high in the slot. He moves in. And in, a little tap of the stick. Now look at Clark. Boom. And that's, I mean, it's senseless. You got to control yourself. Gilmore actually came in later and hit Carson again. Well, that's all it takes sometimes to set the fuse off. The fuse was set off. And now Toronto has to think about a shorthanded goal, and they haven't scored one during the playoffs. See, Gilmore went in late on Carson. He got away with that one. He's fortunate.
Well, Gilmore is eligible to play, but Wendell Clark is not for the next 2 minutes. 2 minutes for cross-checking. At 14:50, as you see, they talk in hockey, John, in the playoffs about losing your focus. That wasn't worth the cross-check.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. I mean, everybody tries to be noble by protecting your goaltender, and I used to appreciate just that fact. But at times, you've got to try and be smart. Now, Carson's down, and Gilmore came in. Watch this one. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but still, he was fortunate not to get an additional 2. Most referees wouldn't call that. Toronto does not have a shorthanded goal in the playoffs. Remember that. And they need one now.
5 minutes and 3 seconds left in regulation time. The Kings in good shape at home, leading this game 4-2, and now on the power play. Warren Reichel takes a hit up high from Berg, but still gets it to center. Rob Rouse tries to control for the Leafs, who not only have to rag time off the clock, as John Davidson pointed out, they almost have to have a shorthanded goal, and that's a tough situation, especially when you're playing a team as offensively explosive as the Kings.
Zezel, a real good penalty killer, gone with a neck injury. He's one player you would maybe look to for offense in this situation, but he's out, again, a neck injury.
Minute 15 to go in the King power play. The penalty to Wendell Clark. Gretzky dumps into the zone for a line change.
I don't think the Kings would be all that upset if they go through these 2 minutes without giving Toronto any kind of offense. Knocks 2 minutes off with a 2-goal lead. They would likely think they're in pretty good shape.
And no need for the Kings to press. They've got that 2-goal lead, but as I say that, Curry leaves it for Robitaille. The shot hits the stick of the defenseman, McCown.
Robitaille still doesn't have a shot in this game. This is the 9th period of the series. He has just 1.
Curry to Robitaille behind the net. Granato with it. Larry Curry, a shorthanded goal tonight, takes the shot. A rebound in the slot. Granato can't control.
Most of those high shots, Potvin has allowed rebounds in this game, and you can sense that the Kings are feeding off of that.
Granato on right wing, looking. 23 seconds left in the power play for LA. McSorley, again a high shot.
Right, and again a rebound. And that time Robitaille bumps the goaltender, but he was pushed, I believe, by Jamie McCowan. Another high shot, and it looks like Potvin, in all his splendid goaltending that he has shown us, and with his great youth and 21 years of age. Look at the high shot, rebound. We've seen that a number of times in this game. You'll see another shot again here. High shot, and Robitaille will go to the net, but you'll see the puck get juggled again. There, up high. Robitaille's there, and he's pushed down and into the goaltender by McCowan.
Yeah, Robitaille got his stick up a little bit.
Tom, excuse me, but I think we'll see a lot of that throughout the rest of the series. Barry Melrose, again, and we mentioned it earlier, coached for Adirondack in the American Hockey League against Felix Potvin when Potvin was with the Maple Leaf Farm Club. And they tested him high. He's going to have to learn to deal with that. Krushelnyski moves over, tries to finish the check on Gretzky. A little shove and he went down, nothing serious.
Well, he held up there. I think out of respect for Gretzky and the fact that they played together and won a cup in Edmonton. Cup or 2. Krushelnyski also used to play for the LA Kings. Puck loose at center. Gilmore, can he get to it? Huddy is hooking him. No penalty call by Andy Van Hellemond. I think Gilmore's got an argument there. Back the other way. Donnelly's pass to Gretzky goes around. And the penalty is over. The teams are 5 aside. Wendell Clark is back on. Boy, Gilmore was being hooked as he attempted to get on that loose puck and break in. McSorley clears the zone. Anderson is back on it, though, for Toronto. 2:43 to go. Here's Clark in the slot. Rudy with a save. Maybe the save of the game for LA. Wendell Clark was in alone. Robitaille holds it in the Toronto zone. Boy, we talked a lot about Felix Potvin, and rightfully so. Kelly Rudy has been very steady for LA in the net.
The 5th consecutive game for Kelly Rudy to be good in the playoffs. The last 2 against Vancouver and the first 3 of this series. Believe me, when you get into a groove like that, it's easier to be good. And right now we have an interference call on Gilmore. He threw the hip right into Luc Robitaille. Now Robitaille may get one as he pushed Gilmore, and Gilmore made sure he fell down to try and draw something.
Well, 2 minutes, 8 seconds left in regulation time. The Kings are in business, partly because of the play of their goaltender, Kelly Rudy, with saves like this.
Lisa's great, but there's something about Sharon. Sharon's okay. Lisa, whew, what a knockout.
Why is the grass always greener on the other side?
You lucky dog. Lucky dog.
Why ask why?
Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste. Bud Dry. It's one thing.
Nice.
That's beyond question.
Automobile Magazine called it more sporting to drive than a Ford Explorer. Yowza. The Isuzu Trooper. Practically amazing. There are those that think the Isuzu Trooper is the best looking four-wheel drive on the road today. We happen to think it also looks pretty attractive on paper too. Presenting the Trooper Lease. See your Isuzu dealer for details.
Welcome back, and John Davidson, there's 2 minutes, 8 seconds left, but with the turn of events of the penalties here, not only are Andrich, Chuck, and Zensel gone from earlier action, but now Clark and Gilmore are out of the game with misconduct.
You see the puck moved away, and Gilmore moves into Robitaille. That was the initial penalty, an interference call. Now, Gilmore skated right back to Robitaille. Watch Gilmore take the dive here. Watch a little shove, and down he goes. That drew 2 minutes apiece. Then Clark was yapping at the referee, and he got thrown out with a 10-minute misconduct. And then when Gilmore was in the penalty box, he went to put the white towel on the stick blade and wave it a little bit, as in other words, we surrender, I surrender, and that got him 10 minutes, and he's out of here.
And you can see some emotions running high in the hallway on the way to the Toronto Maple Leaf dressing room. Gilmore gets 2 for interference, 10-minute misconduct, he's gone. Wendell Clark, 10-minute misconduct, he's gone. Robitaille, 2 for roughing. So the minor penalties are even up.
You know, we saw a couple of things thrown on the ice, and I hope we don't see any more of it. We saw enough of it in Toronto the last 2 games up there. We just don't need stuff thrown on the ice.
Matt Burns with a bit of a grin on his face. More disgust than anything else. Budweiser Stanley Cup summary. There you see Montreal, record-setting playoff season, a record number of overtime games, and Montreal's great record in overtime. Montreal Canadiens leading that series with the Islanders 3 games to none. They'll try and close it out tomorrow night on ESPN. So now all that's left is for the LA Kings to run the remaining minute 48 off the clock. Curry dumps it into the zone, and a whistle for a face-off.
The linesman very active over the last 2 minutes here. Very active, because they want to make sure that nothing happens with these 2 teams. Gretzky glaring at the Toronto benches. He goes back to his bench for the change. Right now, Pearson moves across the ice to go into the penalty box. The Leafs supposed to have someone in the box and did not. Now he's in there. Gretzky has 1 point in each of the 3 games. All assists. And in this one, the Kings are 1:48, 1 minute 48 seconds away from taking the lead with their 2nd straight win.
And game 4 in the series again will be Sunday here at the Great Western Forum. We'll have it for you on delayed tape basis at 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight Eastern time on Sunday night. Game 5 on ESPN Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern time from Maple Leaf Gardens. Ellett intercepts in the Kings zone. Well, Toronto's going to let it all hang out, but you wonder if they have the guns to do that right now. So many of their scoring threats out due to injury or misconduct. Renato skates out of his own zone.
When you look at Toronto's line on the ice here, the 2 forwards. McElwain doesn't have a goal in the playoffs. Bill Berg has 1.
Now Berg,
he got into Granato pretty good. It was broken up. 1 minute to go.
And play goes on. The linesman been broken up immediately. And with the announcement, we're in the final minute of play. The crowd is standing and cheering at the Great Western Forum. Seconds. You see the time in the right-hand lower corner, and they're having another party in Southern California. The LA Kings will take a 2-1 lead in this series, and now we'll try and focus on taking a 3-1 lead Sunday for Toronto. Sunday becomes a very big hockey game. McCown with a drive. He's wide. And a whistle with 8.7, John.
As Wayne Gretzky says, you take the arrows when they're shot at you, and when they get bouquets to you, you accept them, but you treat them both the same. What I'm getting at here is the Los Angeles better players have not scored. They've been criticized. But they've played pretty good defense. They've given up 3 goals to Toronto over the last 6 periods of play. They're getting it done. Los Angeles will have a 2-1 lead, and they will look ahead to Game 4.
And Game 4 of the Wales Conference Finals comes your way on Saturday night on ESPN, live from the Nassau Coliseum. The proud New York Islanders try and stave off elimination. Ray Ferraro and company against the Montreal Canadiens, who just seem to have the magic touch, whether it be regulation or overtime. And Sunday, we'll be back here at the Great Western Forum. This game will be on tape delay at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific time. In the history of this Kings franchise have they played so late in the year and gotten so much publicity. 2 pro football teams in town, 2 pro basketball teams in town, USC and UCLA football and basketball, 2 baseball teams in town, and next year 2 hockey teams, and right now the LA Kings are hotter than any of them.
They really are. It's fabulous for the sport itself. It really and truly is.
This will do it.
They're celebrating here in Los Angeles, and so they should.
Final score. The Kings win it 4-2, setting off a wild celebration. 2 shorthanded goals. Tremendous goaltending by Kelly Rudy. The final, Los Angeles 4, Toronto 2. The Kings lead the best-of-7 series, 2-1. For John Davidson, I'm Tom Mees. So long from the Forum. Let's rejoin John Saunders.
All right, Tom and John, thanks a lot. Get ready for game number 4. Los Angeles winning it 4-2. 2-1, they have the lead. And Jim Schoenfeld, this is game 3. They have the victory. But for the Leafs, they may be looking back at game 2 as the one that got away.
Yeah, the biggest mistake Toronto may have made in this series was giving up the home ice advantage. LA looked very impressive on the great Forum ice tonight. And you know they're going to come out flying again when they're trying to add to this and make it a 3-1 lead in the series. One thing Toronto has to do is settle Doug Gilmour down. He has to get his focus back on hockey. He's one of the best players in the league. Time in the penalty box is a real waste of his talent.
Yeah, the point you make about the ice at the Forum is well taken. It really showed tonight. Toronto looked absolutely slow, like they were skating in mud. A reminder that we will be back in the Wales Conference tomorrow night. Ray Ferraro and the New York Islanders trying to stave off elimination. They're down 3-0. The Montreal Canadiens can move a step closer to yet another Stanley Cup in their storied tradition. Right now, the Los Angeles Kings have a 2-1 lead over top of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for joining us. For Jim Schoenfeld, I'm John Saunders. SportsCenter's up next.